And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the sparkling Tuna Cup number 93. Your weekly dose of CranKy Duckling action. I'm of course just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It has been far too long. I do apologize for going on a bit of a hiatus. For those that remember, we did not host the Sparkling Tuna Cup last weekend because of what? Because of the EWC qualifiers. We had a full week of EWC qualifiers, and of course we had to accommodate. We did postpone our events as a result, and we got some catching up to do. Likewise, even before that, I think we had DreamHack as well. We had DreamHack weekend into EWC weekend. So I do apologize for not hosting the Tuna Cup, but now we're here, now we are back, and now we are jumping into our first series of the broadcast. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Teal Protoss representing among his two people. It is Prome. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Sweden. It is Sig. Here we go, as we are jumping into our best of 3. And again, exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, the bracket is insane, and we are jumping right into the thick of it here. And we'll be going. There's a lot to go into. There's a lot to get into when it comes to the bracket, so we'll be getting there momentarily. Don't you worry. Until then, I am excited to feature our Swedish player here. For those that have been tuning into the podcast, you would know that Sig. Oh wait. Oh, my apologies. Before I get into that, if you're in the chat, Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our Gamba, of course. But I'm excited to cover Sig. I'll call him Sig for now. But if you have been following the podcast, you will know that we've been covering him in tournaments. He hasn't been playing too much in our tournaments, but he's been playing in the Passioncraft Emerging Stars tournaments and other online tournaments or online open cups, and he has been doing quite well for himself. He's been improving quite a lot and actually achieving quite high accolades in those more kind of MMR semi-pro restricted tournaments, and has been looking pretty good. And I want to say that Prome is going to be a worthy opponent here. Prome, of course, is the Korean Protoss player. He himself has also recently taken down DRG, of course, during the EWC qualifiers. Infamously did upset DRG and has been very successful in StarCraft Evolution. So Prome, he's likewise an MMR restricted StarCraft Evolution champion. Meanwhile, Sig being a more winning tournaments, but of course in SC2. So we'll see how they compare to each other, different regions as well, as we have a Robo opener out of our red Protoss. Okay, Robo opener out of our red Protoss. Likewise, we see our Teal Protoss 2-gate opener into what should be a 1-base all in. That's a third gate. Third gateway is being thrown down. Delay on the expansion. Sig, we're looking at proxy across the map, I would imagine. Yes, the probe is being sent out, and this probe is designed to proxy a 4th gateway. So we have 3 gates at home, 4th gateway across the map. It's going to be a 1-base, 4-gate all-in. Adept does threaten the mineral line, does get 1 probe kill, but again, there is no expansion. Not here, not for Prome. He's ready to proxy. Let's go. So the pylon is being thrown down. We're setting up for that 4th gateway. Now, this probe is delayed because of the Adept. If you recall, the probe had to go the long way around to hide against the Adept. So this is going to be a bit of a delayed all-in, but an all-in nonetheless. And meanwhile, we just see Sig back at home going for extra gateways. Remember, he went for a Robo opener. Very safe opener out of Sig. It means that he has safety immortals on the way. That's going to be ideal against an all-in. So far, so good. Safety shield battery, safety Robo, safety immortals. Just really safe play here out of our red Protoss, reading this very well, and with that he has the tools to defend, but it comes down to the execution. Even though he has a robust setup here with a couple of well-placed force fields, Prome, he can lock this army down. He can lock down the immortal and target it down as well. Second immortal's on the way. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for the force fields, and he does lock him in. Yeah, nice force fields. He completely locks down the immortal. The immortal is going to fall, even despite the shield battery. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. The immortal does go down, but now we have a second immortal. Yeah, second immortal has arrived, but that's still a lot of force fields, and he can do it again. He can and will look him down again for the second time, but this time the immortal fights back. This time we have reinforcements. This time we have some support. The boys are being pulled out. The immortal down! It does go down. Yeah, the boys being pulled a little bit too late. Yeah, a little bit too late there. Second immortal falls. Does take down all the sentries, but now we have to deal with the stalkers. Oof. That's a lot of stalkers. Yeah, 7, 8 probes going down. Has to pull away. That's a lot of economic damage, but it's about the natural itself. It's about breaking Sig. I say that Prome did expand. Okay. Did expand behind this. Likewise, another Immortal has arrived. And without sentries, I believe Sig should be okay. I believe he should be able to hold on here. Yeah. He has enough to work with. And now the pressure is on our red Protoss to confirm what exactly is going on, as he will break out. Okay, he breaks out, he breaks free. Oof. Yeah, picks up all the Stalkers, it cleans up the proxy. But the reason why this is happening is because Prome is transitioning, is because Prome, he's not doubling down, he's not continuing to warp in, he's skipping warp ins in favor of the Nexus, in favor of the probes, and with that, Prome takes an economic lead. But tech-wise, he's behind. The Twilight Council is still in the way, and Sig is turning this defense into an offense. He's building up the Immortals and getting ready for another counterattack, getting ready for Glaives. Glaives are on the way. I was gonna say 2 base all in. Technically, you can take a third with this, but still be like hyper aggressive, hyper committed. Glaives is being chronoed as we speak, and Sig, he wants to move out here and now before Prome stabilizes. And Prome is stabilizing. Shield batteries are on the way, extra warpins as well. Gases are being taken. Prome, with given time, he will be able to get into Blink, into his own upgrades. He's massing up his own army. Glaives still being researched. Likewise, there aren't actually that many adepts with the army. There's no prism either, so no way to reinforce across the map. So this is a little bit of a disjointed attack here from our red Protoss, but he's moving out regardless. Oh, share my in the chat, share my puppy, share my. As adepts, they do shade into the main. Yeah, they shade in. The wall was open. Probes are getting one shots. So far, 1, 2, 3 probes going down. But again, the adept count is just not really there. Third base now being taken, but we are still waiting for that War Prism. The fast blade. Oh, the force field though! Very nice force field. Likewise, clutch recall. Does recall in time. Blink is halfway done. And again, despite rushing into Glaives, like we never really made use of the upgrade, to be honest. We're still not making the War Prism. There's still no way to reinforce. Otherwise, I feel like with the Warping of Adepts here, Sig could try to break this. Still could with 3 Immortals, but... Now trying to push forward. Not quite able to break this position. Behind this, of course, is expanding. Forge on the way, Blink as well. Sig looks like he has kind of changed his mind, or he's kind of adjusting on the fly. Trying to build up towards a longer game state. That does mean he has no intention of trying to break this position, and he shouldn't try. Oh, does catch a Stalker. Not bad. Gets a Stalker. Zones back the army. Once again, pulls away. Prome, he has Blink. Uh-oh. Does Blink in. Does dive, does punish, does get 1 Immortal. Not bad. 1 Immortal goes down. Blinks in once again. This time he gets punished, though. Remember, Blink is on cooldown. Oof. And bleeding out a couple of Stalkers. Stalkers did fall. Likewise, moving in. That's another Immortal does waddle forward. And Prome, now he expands, now he claims another base. But Sig has already been on full 3 base saturation this entire time. Has been mining. Ooh, does punish as well. Sig getting further ahead. Getting further ahead here. Sure, Prome has he has Blink. Prome does have Blink, but Sig just now finishing his own. +1, almost done. We have a second Forge on the way for double upgrades. And the pressure is now on Prome to recover in some way. Now, there are ways to do so in PvP. Ooh, are we fully walled in? Oh, that's a little bit awkward. With a gateway as well. As will eventually break out. But there are ways to recover in terms of tech, in terms of Dark Shrine, for example. Dark Shrine and going for DTs and going for DT Harass. That's why there are cannons. You can see Sig, he's ahead, so cannon here at the natural, cannon here at the third base as well. No cannon in the main, but cannon at the entrances at least, in case there are Dark Templar. Another way, of course, would just be with War Prism Harass, would be with Zealot Run-Bys, Stalker counterattack as well, Blink Stalker, I mean, trying to tech and rush into Disruptors. But for the time being, Prome, he's not quite working in any of those directions. Right now he's playing straight up, which means he's behind. Oh, and he's straying further behind here. As that is 4 Immortals, and Sig, he's going for the kill. He smells blood in the water. He's going for the throat. Yeah, Prome, the concave is not in his favor. The Immortals are pinned back, and they aren't actually adding too much DPS to this fight. He has to move forward. Yeah, so a bit of an awkward engagement here from our red Protoss, but it's still going to be enough. Yeah, Stalkers are coming in from behind. Now the Immortals come in and they clean up. They clean house. GG gets called and Sig will take game at number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We'll take a lead in the series. A strong performance here. Again, just really safe play and really fortunate that Prome was committing into an all-in, into a proxy, into a 4-gate. Eventually, of course, he expanded, but Sig took a lead from there. He was mining more for longer. He had the second base for a lot longer as well, so he had more resources. Of course, had all those Immortals. The Glaive Adepts was a bit of an odd choice, considering he didn't commit, right? He didn't commit into Glaive Adepts, not properly. He did kind of step away from it. He decided to expand. Still worked out well for him, though. Still did work out well. GG. GG, well played with that. He will take the lead in the series. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. Likewise, when it comes to the rest of the bracket, we'll be going over that after we wrap up the series to kind of catch up on where we are and where we're headed. And there's a lot of updates. There's a lot to get into, especially in regards to some players competing for the first time in our tournaments. Let's go. We will get there. So jumping into our next game. Go. But I did want to address something. Typically, we have a lot of regulars in our tournaments. Specifically, I'm referring to Geralt and Cristiano, and some more Polish representation. This week, not as much as, or actually I have to fix up, Prome is Protoss, not random. But this week, not as much because of Star Zagora, right? Star Zagora is this, or was this week. I did wrap up yesterday, but of course, a lot of players were traveling, including players like Cristiano and Geralt. They were traveling, of course. They were taking part in that event, so as a result, they are not available here to play in this week's tournament, even though they're typically regulars. Like, it's quite rare to not see at least one of them in our tournaments, but this week, you know, they're traveling. Does mean that there are opportunities for other players instead. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Persephone, we have the teal Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing among SE2 people. It is at Prome. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back, we'll see if he can recover. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Sweden, leading the series 1-0. It is Sig. Siege? Sige? I'll stick with Sig for now. Wow. So far, a solid performance. But again, it was quite fortunate just when it came to the openers. Remember, Prome was hyper-aggressive and Sig was hyper-defensive with that robot opener. We'll see if we replicate that success. We'll see if we go for the same openers or if we adjust. I would imagine we're going to calm down. And I would imagine Prome will go for a more standard opener instead. For now, 2-gate opener out of our teal Protoss player. Meanwhile, Sig going for a gate. Expand. Oh my god, Jesus. Calm down. Gate expand out of our red Protoss. Very greedy opener out of our red Protoss player. Ay. Again, even MaxFax rarely does this. So as a result, I mean, this is a really big gamble, but I do really like this. Again, we just spoke about it, right? Last game, Prome attempted a one-base all-in, and it failed. This time, the chances of him going one base all in are much lower, right? It's a much lower chance from Prome. So this is a risk, this is a gamble, but it is a well-calculated gamble in a best of series, right? In a best of 3. Just because of what happened in game 1, I'm sure that informed the greed of Sig here in game 2. Meanwhile, Prome, speaking of greed, do you see what I see? I see a 2-gate opener, true. I see double adept to harass. I see zero scouting. No probe scout. That is a little bit shocking to me. Like, probe scouting is so standard in PvP. It is so normal. Like, everyone does it to count pylons just because proxying and cheese is just so common in this matchup. But Prome, he cuts corners. He avoids the scouts, and as a result, he doesn't know how greedy Sig is being. It's not like Prome is in danger. Prome is going for a Stargate opener on one base, by the way, before expanding. And he's going to be aggressive himself with the Adepts, that is true. But Sig, he's fully aware of this. And again, Sig, he's cutting corners. Unfortunately, because of his SimCity, though, he does not have a wall on top of the ramp, so there's no way to wall up the ramp and or try to stop these Adepts from getting into the main. So the lack of SimCity here is concerning, and it can be punished. As Prome is going to be shading in. Does shade into the middle line. Two Adepts, they get one shot probes, they get one, they get two. And they get three. They get three workers towards the end, getting up to 4, getting up to 5. 5 probe kills. Adepts, they bust into the mineral line, getting up to 7, 8. Oh my god. 8, 9 probes going to be going down, getting up to almost 10. That is brutal damage. Ay, ay, ay. And on the one hand, yes, Sig was very greedy and he was cutting corners and getting ahead economically. Not anymore. He lost 9 probes, now he's down by 3. It shows how far ahead worker-wise he was. But again, these Adepts, they are punishing and they shaded once again. And the shield battery does nothing. It does nothing. 9 to 10 straight up to 12. 12 workers going down. Not like this. Adepts finally get shut down. Meanwhile, the Oracle has arrived. We're not done. So despite not scouting Prome, he is punishing the greed here of Sig. And Prome will take a lead. Behind this, Twilight Council does go for the Twilight Council opener. Oh, sorry, I should say follow-up after the Stargate. Working towards Blink. Meanwhile, there's no tech here for our Red Protoss. He's got Immortal production, but only Immortals. He is moving out. Okay. Does move out across the map. We'll see what he can get done. Back at home, no shield battery. No shield battery. Oh, there's the NG overcharge. We have a stasis on the way. We'll see if Sig does notice the shimmer. Doesn't notice. Oh, there is. Oh, ooh, doesn't quite notice. Yeah, it does walk in. Another stasis behind us. Oh no! He steps forward. And does he get baited? Say shade past, they shade into the main base. Yeah, the Oracles, they collapse in. There's one Adept in the main. Voids are being pulled. And the Immortals are being targeted down. Getting one. Ooh, just the one for now. So far, 3 probe kills in the main. Some damage is done, but that's 3 probes for an Immortal. And Pro maintains his lead. And he should be able to catch the Immortal. And moving in position. There's the Pulsar Beam. And one more shot. Ooh, takes down both Immortals. Expensive losses here for the Red Protoss. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, throwing down his own gateways. Working towards the Forge, working towards +1. Trying to build up. Up! Oh my god. Jesus. That triple Oracle. I just realized. Prome committed so hard. And he's moving out. The Oracles are low, but they have potential. They can one-shot me while I shout to Captain Fish in the chat. God, oh god, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good ladder session. Hope you had a great time. As Oracles, they will threaten the main base. They dive in. They get 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Ooh, 1 Oracle will fall. So far, nice damage. Uh-oh. Oh my god. As the second Oracle barely gets away. Barely does escape. Prime waddling out. Does waddle across. And he does have a pretty substantial lead here. The Stalker counts are pretty close and pretty neck and neck. Both players have Blink. But can it catch out the Immortal? Does hurt down the shield battery. Black Guy's now going for the Immortal as well. Ooh, doesn't quite dive in. Not quite able to. Nice bait there from Sig. Baits out the stasis, takes out the Oracle as well. That was the final Oracle, I believe. Oh no, sir. One more. What a mass. One more Oracle left over. At the same time, but FC shade into the main base. Aye, not again. And they will target down as many workers as they can, getting to 5, 6, 7, 8 probe kills. Can we get 9? Oh, not quite. But 8 probes, a solid amount nonetheless. Probe behind this, claiming his own third. Third bases are on par with each other. Probe, he has chosen not to take into charge, so no charge and a delayed forge here at a Probe. So we do see that Sig, he is recovering. He is down in workers, that is true, but when it comes to his tech, he's ahead. And when it comes to charge +1, that does have a pretty substantial lead. Likewise, the armies, they pass by each other. Going for the base raid. Stalkers, they're moving in. Third base of Probe under fire. Likewise, Probe dives into the natural base, going for the Nexus. Does go for the Nexus and will get the kill. At the same time, Sig also pushing in. Ignores the third base. Blinks into the natural. Nexus goes down. And what's the third? Likewise, probes are falling. Probe losing up to 29 probes. There's that recall. It does recall back home. He will try to take the fight, but he will lose the expansion. There's no saving it. He blinks away. Up. Trying to bait him in. No, the bait is real. Yeah, brutal stasis, and with that, Sig will lose the natural and the third expansion. He's up in probes, but he's not mining. Probe, meanwhile, lost a lot of workers, but he still has all 3 Nexi up and running here. He's mining freely. And does pull back home. Doesn't keep going. It doesn't commit in. Probe pulls back. Pulls back home to defend his bases. Again, Prome's got 0-0 upgrades, so the upgrades are still in lead here. They're still, or Sig, I should say, still has that upgrade advantage. Working towards +2. But as time goes on, Prome, he will have the larger army. Right now, the armies are comparable with each other. But given time, that will change. As Prome is resaturating, rebuilding, making more probes. At least should be. And now playing it safe, warping in sentries. He's got his stasis traps. They're set up. They are set. From here, Sig, he's gonna try to recover. He's gonna try to macro out of this. Now, the problem here is that this means that he's not being overly aggressive. He's not applying any pressure. He's gonna be stuck at home, stuck expanding, and this means that Prome is free to resaturate all of his bases, get a 4th base as well, and just get further ahead. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Prome. Now, the one thing that Sig has here is the +2 timing. +2 is now gonna kick in. So there's a window where he has +2 over the +0 of Prome, and I feel like that's going to be the moment to try to strike. But we can see that Sig is being a little bit more passive. Now moving out, okay. That does move out. Do we end up another base? Oh, we're going for another base. Let's go! As Prome, he does hit the 3rd. Sig, he should be going for the natural, going for another base trade. That's a kill and a cancel. Stasis traps will delay, but he is moving into the bases. At the same time, we've seen this before. Deja vu. Natural base going to be targeted down. Third base did fall as well. At the same time, Sig just trying to push into that natural, and he should be able to claim it. Nice force field, locking down the probes. And he blinks on past. Blink past the force field, gets into the main. Same time, Sig also pushing into the main base as well, going for the production. There is a recall, at least for one. Brittle force field once again, just making sure that no probes escape. No probe gets out. spoke too soon. Probe, he has one worker. This is the last probe. The last worker of Probe, which means he can proxy a gas. And Sig has nothing. Sig, he has no workers left. The final buildings are all going down. And there it is. There's the pylon. And that will ensure that Probe will win this game, that he will not be eliminated. As Probe is losing his gateways, losing his final pylon. This could have been game. Kills the pylon. But remember, there's 2 pylons in the main base of Sig. And these are the final buildings. Sig, no, he can't save them. The one hero Probe. 4 pylons remaining. Down to 3. Soon to be down to 2. And we see Sig trying to race on over, but he cannot defend. Yeah, 1 pylon left. And there it is. GG. Probe, he will tie the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Again, if Probe didn't save that 1 probe, if he didn't get across the map and have the ability to throw down those pylons, Sig would have won. He would have won that game, which would have been crazy. But alas, he did have the wherewithal to keep that probe hidden, to keep it alive, to get across the map, to have some resources to throw down some buildings, and yeah, with that he was secure. GG. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to game 3. Go. And honestly, this can go either way. Like the way this series, it's been very close, very intense. I feel like a lot of the pace of the game has been set by the opener, both in game 1 and game 2. Game 1, of course, we did have Probe going for the all-in and Sig being very safe and defending and just taking a lead from there. Game 2 was the opposite. Game 2 was Sig being very greedy and being punished for that greed. He was punished for it. And with that, we're now getting into the ace match. And game 3 is going to be on Incorporeal. Let's go. Oh, shout out to Ledlix. He really likes this with Robo first. I see. I think you're referring to the gate expand from Sig. That's we are getting our next game ready. Again, the rest of the bracket is slowly progressing. We're getting there. Beautiful. Just making sure we're all good to go. Oh. And we're getting into the ace match. Again, it's going to be on Incorporeal. Incorporeal being one of the larger maps of the map. Well, not as large as Magnatha, not as defendable as, say, Tokamak, for example, but a large map nonetheless. And we'll see how our players will approach this. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Teal Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is a Probe. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Red Protoss player, the Swedish Protoss, tying up the or being forced, I should say, into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Sig. Ooh, and this time, remember, last game, Probe did not even probe scout. This time, the probe moves out. It's somewhat scout, but more importantly, it's a proxy. Let's go. The pylon has been thrown down. Proxy 3-gate? Like, there's no gases here. We're proxying the gateway initially. There's no setup back at home, no gases. Are we going for, like, a flower? Show us what you got. Pylon is done. How many gates? 1, 2. We're going up to 3? Up to 4? There's a 3rd. And here comes the 4th gateway. So we're going full coconut. Let's go. As he's setting up here for the proxy 4 gates. So 1 base, a 4 gate all in. Not quite the flower. It's not quite as aesthetic, unfortunately. But you know what? It's close enough. Close enough. Let's go. So all or nothing from Prome. And initially back at home, what do we have? We have a gate in the Cybercore setup. Second pylon is revealed. Oh, sorry, 2 gate opener. My apologies. I just assumed that was a Cybercore. So 2 gate opener out of Sig. So going for a bit of a safer standard opener. Of course, because of his setup here, he won't be able to wall off the ramp. So his main base is going to be more accessible. True. And here come the Zealots. And again, Sig has no idea. He's just now moving out across the map after the Cybercore, after the 2 gateways. So a later probe scout, and here comes the proxy. Here come the Zealots. They're waddling in. Now waddling in. Oh! First probe goes down. Meanwhile, Stalkers are being chronoed as we speak. Probes, they can mineral walk. Yeah, they get this around. The Zealots, they should not be in the mineral line. They're getting some probe kills, but they're going to be going down. Yeah, they got 6 probe kills. That's going to be 2 dead Zealots. There's 1 Zealot left, and already Prome is losing momentum. Again, like, the mineral line is exactly where Sig wants to fight. So far, decent control, but still bleeding out 9 probes. And likewise, Shield putting in a lot of work. Takes down another Zealot. The Sword count is building up. We're now to an Adept as well. Leading out to 10 probes. But Sig's still ahead. And he holds. And behind us, no gases. I wouldn't even be opposed to Sig gas stealing, to be honest. Like, gas steal across the map. We're still making pure Zealots. I mean, that's going to be a lot of Zealots. Oh, brutal supply block, though. Yeah, supply blocked. Nice kiting. Likewise, there's a force field. Locking down the army. Who's locked in with who? The kiting is still solid. And again, like, Sig should not be surrounded. Like, he should not lose this army. With good enough unit control, he should be fine. Warping it across the map. Gases are being taken, so didn't the gas steal, unfortunately. I would have I would have been all for gas stealing in this kind of game state. Once again, another force field. Locks down the Zealots. He can warp it across the map. There's the recall. And GG gets called. Yeah, Prome gets completely shut down. And Sig, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. 2K Forge probably? No. The flower, probably the flower. GG, well played with that. Congratulations here. Sig, he will claim the series. He will advance on. Shout out to Prome, though. It did make for a very entertaining series, especially the base trade, right? The base race that we saw where we were just knocking down all the buildings. Like, it was a wild turn of events. Again, a very dynamic series. Congratulations. Shout out to both players for making the series out of this. But congratulations to Sig for claiming it in the end, for advancing on. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations. And now it is time to jump into the bracket to figure out where we are and where we're headed. Exclamation mark be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket has been progressing. Oh. It's been progressing. Has been progressing here, and from the top we do have Choi. Choi takes down Ragnar 2-0. Choi Galaxy does advance on a face-up against ByuN. ByuN, of course, is the #1 seed of the tournament. ByuN, he has won many a Tuna Cup in his day. Less than Cristiano, but many a Tuna Cup nonetheless. So ByuN coming in as one of the favorites to win the entire event. Rebellion takes down Lunacy 2-0, advancing on a face-up against the winner of ByuN and Choi Galaxy. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have Wayne. We have Wayne waiting for his opponents, and we have that next series. It's going to be Wayne versus Sig in the round of 16. That's going to be our next series here on the channel. I'm going to be heading over to the European server. Scrolling down, we have Ledlix. Ledlix does claim the series over W Sung. Does claim the series, does advance on the face-off against Nicoract in the next round. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have Medic Jr. Medic Jr. takes down Captain Fish, and we have our second seed of the tournament. It was going to be Solar. Solar, he did sign up, he did check check in, but Solar, he did forfeit, and Solar has been replaced by herO. So herO steps in and does fill Solar's shoes. I feel like a fitting number 2 seed to the event. So herO, he just took down Medic Jr. 2-0. Just took him down. And herO does advance on to the quarterfinals. Scrolling down, we have Demi. Demi takes down Dave Latos 2-0. Demi now up against Mixu. I say Demi. Oh, Demi. Feels Demi, man. Feels that. Aye. Much love to ByuN. As ByuN, he is up against Mixu in the round of 16. So good to see Demi once again. Again, Demi, he's a rare sight nowadays. We rarely get to see him, but great to see him competing here in today's tournament. Much love, much love. Meanwhile, scoring down, we do have our next matchup. We do have Creator. Creator, of course, waiting for the winner of Mocha and Bulgachin. We do see Mocha advancing on, now facing against Creator, I believe, on the Korean server. And we have Eva up against Azura in the round of 16. I actually see them. They're both, I believe, kind of in the videos, they are both getting ready. And we could hop on over, but I do want to follow our player into Wayne, right? Like, Sig into Wayne does make the most sense. But best of luck to Eva and Azura. Azura takes down Well 2-0 and is up against Eva in the round 16. So the entirety of the first round has concluded, and the round of 16 is underway. It's underway as we step in. Very stressful, very stressful. for sure. GG, Mappy, GG. Well played. Here we go. Very intense, Mappy, very intense. We'll see if we get our next series underway. I say that, do have to slip into some DMs. Oh. But we are going to be going on a short break. Here, and when we come back, we should have Wayne versus Sig. I say should have. I don't see Wayne, so I'm going to be submitting some DMs. I'm going to be messaging him on Discord, and hopefully we can find him, and hopefully we can get into our next series. Hopefully. For now, though, going to be going on a short break. PvC very peak. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. I believe, Pappy. I believe. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. Otherwise, they're going to really stack tournaments. Also, I don't want to gloss over it, but shout out to herO, because I believe this is herO's first time playing in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. You know, Solar, he's semi-active in our tournaments. ByuN is a regular. Creator is a regular nowadays. But herO, he hasn't really stepped into the fray here. Not in quite some time, or not in our tournaments, I should say. So, yeah, exciting stuff. We'll see if anyone can stop him. Oh boy. For now, though, going on that break, we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC as we have returned. We've returned with a different series here, in a sense. So it is a little bit unfortunate, but you can check it out in the brackets. We were waiting for Wayne. Wayne, of course, did sign up, did check in, but unfortunately nowhere to be found. I did reach out on Discord, did reach out via DMs, but unfortunately Wayne, it looks like he is unavailable. Hopefully nothing serious, but looks like something did come up with that walkover. With that, we do get a walkover instead, and now we are jumping into the quarterfinals, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player. We have representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Nicoract. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Swedish Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss, also representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Sick. We go. As we are going to be settling into our TVP, and we'll see what Sig has to offer. Now, earlier, if you recall, I did mention how I think this is my first time casting Sig. I don't really have much experience with the player, but I did notice them achieving a lot of accolades in other tournaments and doing really well and winning other tournaments. So I was curious to see how they would perform. Had a very intense series versus Prime, very intense. Went down to the wire, went down to the ace match, and even then, there were some base trades getting involved. But now, how does he compare to Nicoract? Again, Nicoract is a much more established player in the scene, definitely up there amongst the European Terran players. Nowadays, I would say Nicoract might even be top 5 Terran in Europe, maybe top 4. Like, I'd have to think about it. But of course, there are players like Agedon who retired. Battle B likewise retired as well. Like, Battle B did not play in the EWC qualifiers. So without players like Battle B, without players like Agedon, when I think of the upper echelons of the European region, I think of Nicoract, alongside him, I would probably place Milky Cow and Moja. I think those are the other active, like, big Terran names in Europe. Yeah, probably would be Milky Cow and Moja. So yeah, they'd be amongst each other, like, just under, like, Spirits and Hero Marine. And yeah, Nicoract is doing quite well for himself. Again, Nicoract, especially when it comes to this matchup, I might go as far as to say that Nicoract's best matchup is TVP, Terran versus Protoss, where we have seen him take down players like Max, we've seen him take down players like herO. Like, man, if you can take down Max and herO, like, he's crazy, man. He's crazy. Aye. So we'll see how Sig can stand up. Oh. Now it does pull away. Does pull away. Yo, I see Gary in the chat asking about balance related jokes. I'm pretty sure when it comes to the timeout that had it just happened, you were putting down a player in the chat. It isn't just that you were crying about balance, which is also very cringe. But the fact that, like, Sig, he was expressing, like, his, like, nervousness about playing. He was talking about how, like, he was, you know, not too confident about his own play. And you're directing your comments at a player in the chat. Like, that's definitely a lot different, and I hope you're understanding of that. I think trying to say the timeout was a power trip it's not based in reality. So watch yourself. As the Reaper Hellion does dive into the mineral line, so far 5 probes going down. Okay, 5 workers. Likewise, you get a 6 strong start here from Nicoract. Very strong start. Take down 6 workers and does beat out his Reaper Hellion, but it's worth it here. It's worth it to trade out. Again, Reaper Hellion doesn't scale well into a longer game, so to bust into a mineral line and to wreak havoc here, I mean, he may even just get another probe. Yeah, more probes going to be going down. We're not done. We're moving out with another Wood Mine drop as well towards the main. The aggression has not ended. And Sig, he's across the map instead. He is across the map. Likewise, dropping in. Gonna be dropping in, likewise getting a couple worker kills, likewise Reaper back into the main, okay, back into the natural even, getting up to 3, soon to be 4 probe kills as well. Oh, and this is getting out of hand, it's getting out of hand, and unfortunately, even though Sig is across the map, these Stalkers are not really achieving too much. We have a bunker, we have a tank, we have Marines, we have an army in position that does shade into the main, and we'll get some damage done, but this pales in comparison, and I'm afraid to look here at the unit slot type here, but it's gonna be 10 probes going down, 1 Stalker, the Adept as well, so a strong start from Nicoract. Now Sig comes online, now he tries to push in, but again the tank is ready, the bio army as well, and Sig gets nothing done in the mineral line. So here, Widowmine as they do pop off once again. Ooh, not quite connecting. Nice control there from Sig. Oh, I say that, Stalker still goes down. And with that, the aggression, the harassment has finally subsided here. We do defend, we do survive, but again, at a cost. Nicoract back at home, he's chilling. He's chilling, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. eBay's on the way for +1, he's going for a 3rd TC. Nicoract, he's not going all in, but he's pushing out nonetheless. Now, when it comes to this move out, there's a bit of a give and take here. There is no stim. Stim only just began. +1 only just began as well. So no stim with this bio army, but the tanks, they will pose a threat. So let's move in. Sieging up. Now siege up. Ooh. Catching out 2-3 Stalkers already. 3 Stalkers, 4 Stalkers going down. And we'll pick off one of the tanks at least, but the other tank will survive, and this is just a brutal trade here from Sig. Not like this. Yeah, not like this. Losing all of his Stalkers at the same time. Auto harass into the natural. And this is all just adding up, and I do really like this out of Nicoract, where it's a really mature decision, does pull away, right? He's done his damage, he traded well against Stalkers, he didn't get the 3rd base, but he does pull away, and he won't quite save the tank. He can maybe save a couple of Marines. Yeah, 2 Marines, oh god, 1. We'll lose everything. Does try to keep up with the army though, does have the high ground. Does hold into the high ground. Sig, at least he was able to punish the army in some way. But again, did bleed out how many? 6 Stalkers in total. Once again, brutal losses there for Sig. Likewise, dropping on left hand side. Does drop over. Likewise, that 3rd base now being taken from Nicoract. Nicoract getting further ahead. Ideally, the Protoss wants to be up in expansion. That is not the case, not here. And Nicoract does get in. Yeah, once again, another 7 probe kills. GG gets called. The harass is just too much. No final fight. And Nicoract will claim game number 1. GG. Again, a strong showing here from Nicoract. It does take the first game, and again, Nicoract, he is stepping in as the favorite player here. Sig, more of an up-and-coming player. As I mentioned, he has been excelling quite a bit when it comes to more MMR or semi-pro tournaments, and hey, did take down Prone, but here is up against one of the big names in the tournament, is up against Nicoract. And game 1 was a little bit brutal here. From the beginning, the Reaper, Hellion harass, the Widowmine drop, followed by the tank push as well. Nicoract did not hold back. He did not hold back. And it's not like he was all in, not at all, but he was applying so much pressure, and Sig did have a really hard time keeping up. We'll see if he can recover. So we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. We're jumping into game 2. And we'll see if Sig can try to stabilize here, try to calm down, and look to make a series out of this. As spawning in the top left-hand corner here of Persephone, we have the Red Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Swedish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes as well as their teammates. It is Sig. Go. So again, game 1 definitely set the tone here for the series. Nicoract not holding back, not at all. And we'll see how we adjust here. Again, we're a little bit distracted at the start of the game, but now we're going to be able to settle in. Do have our initial Rax opener. We'll see if we do go for a double gas opener or for a faster CC, for a faster expansion, into a more economic start. Likewise, we'll see if Sig goes for a bit of a safer start instead, referring to 3-gate blink. Setting up back at home, and going for safety shield batteries. Again, it all began earlier last game with the Reaper Hellion. Getting, was it 6, 7 probe kills at the start of the game? I was like, it was brutal. And likewise, if you recall, Sig was also, I mean, it was all emphasized because Sig was punished for pushing out across the map, right? He moved out across the map, he was being a little bit too active. Wasn't quite worth it in the end. But now, we're settling in. So, economic open out of Nicoract, going for a single gas into a faster CC, delayed factory out of Nicoract. So, going for a standard opener himself. Imagine that hoodie had a Duckling logo on it. Ah, true. One day, baby, one day. We can all smooch together with a Duckling hoodie. As Reaper does poke in and gets a probe. Reaper is zoned away. Likewise, Twilight Count's opener out of Sig, working towards Blink, and we'll see how many gateways we commit to. Likewise, 1-1-1 from Nicoract. We're not rushing into any kind of crazy early tech lab, into add-on swap, into Banshee play. Even when it comes to the Reaper Hellion this time, it's only going to be a single Reaper and a single Hellion, so very light commitment here into early game aggression. Very different kind of start here compared to game 1. Different change of pace. Is making a second Hellion. Okay. Second Hellion's on the way. Reaper hooks in. Gets zoned back. So far so good out of our Protoss. Getting a second gateway. Does hold on. Does deflect. Ooh, and we are going 2-gate blink. 2-gate blink into a third. Okay, this is a bit of a rarity nowadays. I feel like this opener has fallen off in favor of 3-gate blink, even 3-gate blink into sometimes a robo and extra gases on 2 bases into a delayed third. A big reason why we've seen this opener kind of fall off is because of how aggressive Terrans have been as of late, right? We've seen a lot of aggression, a lot of 2-base all-ins, a lot of 2-base play, so Protoss players have been less incentivized and less willing to cut corners, at least in current times, but we do see Sig trying to get away with it. And I mean, against an economic start, he should be okay. Should be okay. You know, Marine drop into the main, Hellions on the right hand side, Nicoract moving in. Does hit the mineral line so far. Siggy does pull away. No major losses. Hellions, they bust into the natural though, and probes are getting roasted. Ooh, probes are going to be lining up as well. No, they do line up. Ooh, and with that, that is brutal damage here. 9 probes going to be going down. 11, 12, getting up to 12 workers, and when it's still not done. And the army's going to be thrown away, but it's going to be worth it here as the workers, they stack once again. They do stack 21 probe kills. No, like this ensures Sig he has a third base, he can make 3 probes at a time, but alas, this economic opener has not been worth it. We had less gateways, less warp-ins, less stalkers, no SimCity here at the natural either, and with that, Sig, he's in a rough position already before we can really get into the game. Even worse than game 1. Game 1 was already a rough start, but here in game 2, 21 probe kills, that is critical damage. And Nicoract is not done. He's now moving in with the Raven. Raven does move in. Sig going for the counterattack. There's a bunker, there's a tank. We are fortified back at home. And the Stalker counterattack is not going to achieve much. And again, it's a low gateway count, so it's not like he can warp in and commit to an all-in. He doesn't really have the setup for an all-in. It's not there, Pappy. It's not there. And from here, Nicoract can just chill. He can just calm down. Work towards stim, combat shields, build up his ByuN army, tanks are amassing, bunker on the way, or bunker's already done. And Nicoract should just be calming down until the upgrades kick in. We're waiting for stim, waiting for +1. Once they all finish up, then it's time to move out. Then Nicoract can push. He does move out. Likewise, Siege, I mean, see, he's doing a great job here when it comes to slowing down the army and picking away the Marines, but he can't stop this. He cannot stop this. Not after all the early game damage. GG gets called, and Nicoract, he will claim the series 2-0. GG, well played. A strong showing there by Nicoract, and my condolences to Sig. Again, he had a really intense series earlier against Prome, but here against Nicoract did struggle that much more. And I feel like we just didn't really get to see much of what Sig is made of here in this matchup, just because of all the early game damage. Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1, it was a little bit more of damage over time, with the Reaper Hellion, then the Mind Drop, then the tank push, but over time damage was dealt. Here in Game 2, it was a more explosive start from Nicoract with the multi-pronged aggression, with the Hellion dive, Hellion run by, getting 21 probe kills. So before Sig could really get into the mid game, in either Game 1 or Game 2, he was shut down. He was shut down. He was crippled early on. GG. GG, well played. With that, Nicoract does advance on to the semi-finals, and we're going to be following Nicoract into that next series. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us go. As the rest of the bracket has been progressing, and here we go. We do have a ByuN. ByuN took down Choi Galaxy 2-0, took down Rebellion 2-0, and we have a TVT between ByuN and Nicoract facing off in the upper semis. Scrolling down, we have herO. herO currently mid-series against Mixu. They're currently facing off. Creator just took down Mocha 2-0. Eva took down Azura 2-0 as well. And we have Creator versus Eva also ongoing in the lower half of the bracket. So the quarterfinals are underway, but we are focusing our attention on the upper semis. Basically, ideally, by the time we wrap up the upper semifinals, the lower semis are going to be ready for us. Let's go. Let us go. Not exactly unexpected though. Oh no, I say GG, Pappy, GG. You played well, you played well. To make it to the quarterfinals. Again, as we mentioned earlier, unfortunately we didn't get to feature Wayne, but we should be featuring Wayne later on tonight. Again, players like Wayne, Nicoract, and many others are going to be Shameless as well. They're going to be featured in the Tuna Cup. That's going to be later on in the evening after this event. Hoping that Wayne will be there for that at least, hopefully. Regardless, GG, well played, and with that we're getting ready here for the upper semifinals. Vetoes are underway, and I have to very quickly set things up. Semifinals. So we have a Terran confirmed for the grand finals, but which Terran exactly, we're here to find out. There we go. As Vetoes are done, and game 1 is going to be on Maganatha. Let's go. Let us go. Babino game ending. Losing 21 probes at the start of the game, that is... We did phrase it as critical damage. That's game-ending damage. It's brutal. That's it. Especially at this level of play, making those mistakes or those slip-ups, it's yeah, hard to recover from something like that. Hard to recover. But here we go. We're getting into our fresh best of 3 into our semifinals, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Let us go, the ByuN Slayer himself. Now, Nicoract, he did have a time. There was an era in StarCraft where Nicoract was actually the one to consistently bring down ByuN in the OC King of the Hill. I want to say multiple weeks in a row, but that was, as much as I want to say that and reference that, that was back in like 2021. it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since that was the case. But regardless, I'm here for it anyway. I'm here for it. I'm here. I'm ready for it, of course. More Nicoract versus ByuN, and we'll see what we have in store for each other, as game 1 is going to be on Magnatha, the largest map in the map pool. And before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on whether this will go the way of ByuN or Nicoract. Best of luck. ByuN is favored, 100%. ByuN is favored in this series, but I want to believe that Nicoract can make ByuN work for it, and could even cause that upset. He's done it before. We'll see if we can do it again. I will emphasize that Nicoract, his strongest matchup is TVP. Like, again, we've seen Nicoract take down herO, we've seen him take down Max, but TVT is not too shabby either. Not too shabby here for Nicoract. Let's go. For now, economic openers. We have our economic openers from both sides, both players going into their Rax expands, which makes sense on Magnatha just because the map is so large. Yes, there is a risk here of a proxy of some cheese, and I do expect a proxy at some point in this series, but for game 1, everything is back at home. For game 1, we're looking normal, looking standard. So we are taking a bit of a slower approach here initially. I do have ByuN moving out with 2 Reapers. With this he can poke in, but we do have a bunker on the low ground. We have Marine, a Reaper in the main. So Nicoract, he should be able to hold his own. Reaper shouldn't get much done. Do have Nicoract going for his 1-on-1. Reapers, they attempt to go into the main. And Nicoract in position, he will punish. He will not get the Reaper. Whew, barely not. Forcing back ByuN. Ooh, and ByuN going for the fast third CC. Okay, that is going to be a third CC after the starboard. Very greedy setup here from ByuN, but we mentioned earlier, because of the size of the map, this does make more sense here to try to be greedy on Magnatha. We'll see if Nicoract tries to punish. We'll see if he tries to meet that greed. As I said, Lindsay, so a big shout to Gross Papa in the chat. Ga, Papi, ga. Oh my god, thank you so much. Oh, Ga, Papi. Sorry, Papa, even. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 2 months. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft as we are settling into our semifinals. Again, we're actually almost nearing the end of the broadcast in a way. Like, we have semis, then grand finals. 3 series left. 3 series to go. But thank you so much. So we are moving out. And for the time being, Nicoract is in the dark. He's going for a split push. We do have a Reaper Hellion on the left. We do have the drop into the main. And what's important about this drop is less about the damage, more about the scouting. He will confirm the timing of that third CC. He's now aware of how greedy ByuN has been. Reaper Hellion gets cleaned up, drop into the main, gets eyes on the third CC, now he knows, and he will get a couple of SCVs, not bad. Yeah, getting up to 6 SCVs on the lock-on. Oh, the lock-on is brutal, it's going to be a one-way trip, the medevac is going to go down. Ooh, brutal pickoff. And Nicoract, he will lose everything. He does snipe that Cyclone towards the end, so we do have a bit of an even trade. Did at least kill 6 SCVs, but the third CC will make up for that. So all in all, Nicoract, he currently does have that worker lead, that worker advantage. He throws down 2 more Raxes. Still no third base out of Nicoract. Interesting. He's still moving out. And Nicoract, he sees the third and he says no. He wants to be aggressive, wants to move out. Wants to try to break ByuN ahead of time. And ByuN is still trying to build up. He has 1 tank on the low ground. He has his Marines in the main. Poking forward, he does scan, does spot the tank. Oh, spots the Raven as well. Gets a couple of shots off. Gets a bit of damage. Reaper gets caught. Nicoract still rallying across the map. Still no third TC out of Nicoract. Not yet. He has the money for it. Rotating over. And again, the pressure right now is on Nicoract to delay the third base for as long as possible. Auto charge into the main. Army doesn't quite move in position yet. Third base is landed. Nicoract sharking around. Still waiting for reinforcements. Oh, catches the Raven. Not bad. Oh no, does get it. Whew. Does pick up the Raven just in time. Nice snipe there from Nicoract. Down to one Raven. But does have those disables. Raven's moving in. Yeah, Nicoract, he's aware there's a second Raven. He does pull away. Third base is being taken. And Nicoract still no expand. Still no third. He's just cranking out as many Marines as he can. Now Nicoract, he's up 20 army supply. Like Nicoract, he has a massive army supply to work with. And he has to make use of it. He's rotating. Knocks down those rocks. Looking at the tank count here. We have 5 tanks at 2. They might miss each other actually. ByuN moving out. Nicoract moving in. There's a scan. ByuN spots the army. He responds. He races back home. Nicoract, he scans. ByuN, he will avoid the scan. Does avoid. ByuN moving in position. Oof, gets spotted. ByuN steps in. Pulls away. Does pull away. ByuN will snipe a tank, trading 1 for 1. And again, Nicoract, he has to strike here and now while he still has the advantage. He's 2 base all in, basically. Like Nicoract, he is 2 base all in. The longer this goes on, the better it is for ByuN. As Nicoract, he's up 30 army supply. Okay, he's up in Marines, up in tanks. Now pushing in. Getting within range of the CC. Stims in. Gets a tank. Gets 1. Whew. Does get 1 tank. Pulls away. Just in time. Denies the 3rd. And from here, drops immediately into the main. Does pick up. Goes to the main. ByuN, he responds with his own Doom Drop. He will clean this up. And Nicoract, we got to gain some ground. As he will lose his medevacs. Brutal losses here for Nicoract. He denies the 3rd, but we need more than this. Okay, there's only 2 tanks. There's barely any Marines. Like, now is the time. But alas, doesn't quite go for it. Doesn't notice. Yeah, now it's too late. Now the army does reposition. Nicoract waiting for reinforcements. Oh, ByuN, he finds the medevac. Nice cleanup. Takes down the drop of rotating over towards the left-hand side. Taking another 3rd. Nicoract now reinforcing with Liberators. He has some freedom. He has Liberation. Oh! He overextends. Doesn't lose the Liberator. Does move in. Yeah, Liberators are setting up and just bullying back ByuN. Tanks will siege. And ByuN is going to try to break this, pushing into this tank line. He cannot. Nicoract, has he done it? Gets a kill. Yeah, it does get a kill. And ByuN, he just didn't get away with his greed. That's a kill on the CC. 11 SCV kills as well. And Nicoract, he's going for the kill. This is it. Oh, Liberators do overextend. Does overextend. Marines, they push into the tank line. Tanks are going down, and Nicoract, he has done it. Whew, GG gets called, and Nicoract takes game number 1. GG. Very intense game here. Again, the longer the game went on, I was concerned for Nicoract winding it back. For those that are curious, remember, ByuN was very greedy this game. He was up 20 workers compared to his opponents, but he was down 20, 30 army supply. Like, he was down when it came to the army. He was ahead when it came to the workers, but he could not take advantage of that 3rd base. He could not actually take advantage of his workers. He could not claim that 3rd in time. Again, Nicoract, once he realized how greedy ByuN was, he just committed to 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in on Nicoract, and he had to break ByuN, and was able to do so, was able to catch him out of position, wedging himself in between the bases, in between the natural, in between the third. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, Nicoract does take a lead, and we'll see if Nicoract can cause the upset. One more game, and he will knock ByuN out of the tournament. Whew, let's go, baby. Let us go. Uno más, uno más. As we're now going from one of the larger maps to one of the smaller maps. Up next, Persephone. Persephone is a smaller map. I do expect to see a more aggressive build here. I would be shocked to see either player rush into a third as quickly as ByuN did on Maganatha. Semi-finals are always held for our tournaments. For those that are curious, once again, if you maybe haven't tuned into our tournaments in the past, the way that our tournaments work is that both semifinals are casted. That is not the case for all tournaments. There are some tournaments that don't, that just run them as soon as they're ready. So tournaments like Pegasaur Cups, they just run them. War DCB Mondays, it's on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes they run them, sometimes they hold them. So it does depend on the tournaments. But for our tournaments, they're always held. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Terran player. We have the Platinum Heroes Terran, leading the series 1-0. It is Nicoract. And spawning into the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, Double Gas. Going for a Double Gas opener instead. I mean, so is his opponent. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. Let us go. So our TVT does continue, this time Double Gas at Nicoract, Double Gas at ByuN. Again, last game they both went for economic openers, but now that we load into a smaller map, it makes sense to go for a more tech-heavy start. Let's go. With this, we are going for a faster factory, we're going for a delayed CC, and depending on the add-on setup and the add-on structure, we could go into Reactored Reaper Hellion, we could go into an earlier Tech Lab into early Cyclone, we can go into an early Tech Lab into add-on swap. Banshee play is also viable in TVT and can catch a Terran player off guard. We could even mech it up, which we have seen from a lot of Korean Terrans recently. Kior, Bunny, and Gumiho come to mind. ByuN less so. ByuN a little bit less so. He has been flexing mech against Zerg, but haven't really seen it much against Terran. So again, we'll be keeping an eye on those add-ons. Both players should be expanding. Technically, we can turn this into a one-base all-in, but I don't really think that ByuN or Nicoract are willing to one-base all-in too often, or just typically. And there we go, CC. CC for ByuN, CC for Nicoract. Can't believe ByuN lost. Just to reiterate, like, not the first time that Nicoract has beaten ByuN. I say that. Nicoract has beaten ByuN in series before, but just to, I guess, just to reiterate, it was a couple of years ago, right? It's a couple of years ago where Nicoract was the ByuN Slayer. And again, if you've been watching Nicoract as of late, like, he definitely can, like, spike up and take down some big names. I would say that Nicoract, currently his weakest matchup is TVZ. I think his TVZ is his current weakest matchup, and that's where he can struggle. But in TVT and TVP, he can take down, like, the best players in the world. Like, he's got it in him. That's where Nicoract can thrive, back. Let's go. As Reaper into the main. Nicoract going for the Reactored Reaper Hellion. No Tech Lab, no add-on. Oh, he does not. Oh, yeah, barely does not catch that Reaper. He will chase, though. He will give chase. So basically, Nicoract, he chose not to get an add-on, so he's still making more Hellions and more Reapers. Meanwhile, ByuN did make an add-on, going for the Tech Lab, going into Cyclone production. So ByuN, he's going to have a more defensive start as he's making Cyclones and Marines, which means he can't be as active on the map. Meanwhile, Nicoract, the goal here would be to try to break the natural and to try to get on top of that Cyclone. Now with 2 Cyclones, though, I don't really see that happening. I don't really see ByuN being broken here, but we'll see what Nicoract can pull off. If he can line up those Hellion shots, then he can at least trade well against the Marines and maybe get some SCVs. Does go for the dive. Cyclones, they lock into the Hellions. 1, 2 Hellions go down instantly. And ByuN holds. ByuN does hold. Will give chase. Nice KDA charges there by Nicoract. Nicoract has to get the hell out of there. And ByuN, he doesn't just defend, he counterattacks. Here we go. Double cyclone across the map. Does move out. Nicoract getting in position back at home. He is somewhat ready for the medevac. Ooh, does get the lock on, does deflect. At the same time, Reapers are going to the main. And they bypass the tank. Alas, ByuN, he does have defenses back at home. ByuN, he will lose his Reapers at least. Remember, these are vanilla Marines. And we do get 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Can we get 4? Can we get 5? Oh, 4th SCV. 5, 6. Oh my god. 6 SCV kills. Hellion into the natural base. Very nice damage here out of Nicoract, pulling ByuN apart. Getting 1 extra SCV. 9 in total. Very nice damage. Considering that this Reaper Hellion was shut down earlier. It was completely shut down by the Cyclones. It should not have gotten any damage. But suddenly, 9 SCVs. 9 workers going down. Very nice attack here from Nicoract. And very nice use of the Reaper Hellion, considering that it just doesn't really scale well into a longer game. Considering the opener kind of fell on its face. Nicely done. With that, Nicoract does take an economic lead. We do see ByuN getting his 3rd CC on location. I believe Nicoract getting his own 3rd in the main. So ByuN, he's cutting corners, being a little bit greedy, but because ByuN is behind, he has to cut corners, right? To catch back up. Behind this, going into Tank Raven. Likewise, Nicoract doing the same. Nicoract going up to triple Raven production, or triple Raven opener, into Bio Tank. Getting for upgrades, stim, more Marine production. ByuN is going to be 1 step behind, just now going for the add-on swap. ByuN just now finishing up his own 2nd Raven. And now working towards stim. All in all, I'm liking Nicoract's position. But ByuN is still being active. Dropping into the main. Nicoract, he does move out. He's not ready for this. Tank is exposed. Will delay the CC. Gets 2 SCV kills. Nicely done. Gets a couple of SCVs. Will deny mining in the main. Meanwhile, Nicoract, he does move out. Medevac will fall. Oh, but he's gonna take it. He's gonna rape the Vikings. He will get 1 at least. Does get 1 Viking, but Nicoract, he does defend the main. Nice cleanup. Scans across the map. Sees the defensive setup here. He cannot push into this. Nicoract rotating around. Oh, past the Tuna. Let's go. And I do think that Nicoract can get a better angle at the 3rd, but he got spotted. He is spotted. ByuN is aware. ByuN, you can see him reposition. Ooh. Cyclone goes down. We do get the mass disable, and it looks like 1 tank will fall. Not a bad cash. That was a lot of disable spent. But gets 1 tank. And doesn't keep pushing. I do like this from Nicoract. He doesn't press the... I mean, it's difficult to really press the advantage here when you're going up against this many tanks back at home. Disables did run out, so Nicoract, he pulls away. Gets 1 tank, backs off. Builds up his reinforcements. Looking for another way in. Ooh, does get 1 disable. Not bad. Yeah, tanks they will siege. Gets 2 more disables, and with that, Nicoract, he can break this. He can break this. The boys are being pulled. Running out of Marines. Yeah, it does overextend. Overextends with the Bio Army. And with that, ByuN will hold. Disables are running out, though. Disables are running out. Takes out the final Marine. Gets 11 SCV kills. Oh, gets another tank as well. This wasn't a bad trade for Nicoract. I mean, ideally he would have broken this position, and he was so close to breaking it as well. Again, unfortunately, took a really bad volley to his bio from the tanks. And Nicoract was forced back. But that was not a clean defense from ByuN. It's not clean. The Ravens survived for both players. So we have 2 Ravens here for Nicoract, 2 Ravens for ByuN. Nicoract pulls away. And thanks to all that economic damage, Nicoract still maintains a slight worker lead. Oh. So even though ByuN had a faster 3rd on location, Nicoract was able to do enough damage, getting 11 SCV kills to make sure that things remained even. Again, ideally, Nicoract would have broken ByuN then and there, but wasn't quite able to pull it off. ByuN survives. Sets up his Vikings. Ready in the main. And the game continues. Nicoract expanding a location. ByuN moving out with his own drop play. Now it's time for ByuN to be active. Okay, he will scan ahead of time. ByuN dropping in. He will force a delay. Maybe even a cancel. Yeah, he's gonna cancel. Oof. There's a cancellation. Disabled out. A disable on the Medivacs, but last of Raven goes down. Brutal pickoff. And ByuN, he will get away. So very nice drop here by ByuN. Canceling the 4th base, sniping a Medivac. Sorry, sniping a Raven. Getting his own 4th on location. Now we could see Nicoract do the same. Right now he's hunting for these Medivacs. Is searching. Yeah, he stems in. Good reaction. Very quick reaction out of Nicoract. Cleans up the Marines. He will miss the Medivacs. Or will he? That's the second stim. Gets 1. Gets 2. Boosts on cooldown. Okay. Let's go. Very nice cleanup out of Nicoract. Does catch the Medivacs. He won't be able to delay and he won't be able to cancel the 4th base, but a nice catch nonetheless. As both players are expanding, ByuN getting a faster 4th base. So ByuN will have a slightly better economy. As we're backing off, both players getting to their bio armies. Ooh, there is going to be a window in time where ByuN will have 2-2 over his opponent, so better upgrades for ByuN. That may factor in. Planetary now morphing in as well. Oh. Nicoract doesn't quite get the Medivac. Rotating over. Does rotate. Looking for another way in. Oh, that's a solid tank line though. And he can't commit. Yeah, committing to this is not going to work out well for him. Every Marine is going to go down. A brutal fight here in ByuN. He will snowball out of control, cashing out all the tanks. And Nicoract, he did misjudge this. Again, pushing into a line of this many tanks. 6 tanks. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, ByuN will snowball out of control. One bad fight is sometimes all it takes. This was a very tense game and very close, very clutch. Very, I would say even for quite some time. But yeah, one bad fight. And from here, ByuN, he will send everything across the map. Anti-armor missile goes up. Stims in, takes down the Marines, takes down the tank as well. And ByuN can just rally. He can just rally in. He can just rally on forward. And we spoke about that upgrade timing, right? 2-2, another big factor in that fight. A GG gets called, and ByuN, he will tab the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Very, very intense game there. Again, Nicoract, he almost fully popped off. When he pushed on the right-hand side, when he pushed towards the 3rd base with his tanks, with his Ravens, again, he almost broke ByuN then and there. But almost was not enough. Almost was not enough. In the end, ByuN, he was able to stabilize, able to get his 3rd, able to get his 4th, and then hit that very strong, very potent 2-2 timing. That also, I mean, it also shows just how rough that fight was for Nicoract, where he stimmed into the concave, he stimmed into the siege line, he got hit with the anti-armor missile, and he was also down in upgrades as well. Like that was a rough fight to take then and there, and with that, ByuN did snowball out of control. And now we're getting into the ace match. We're loading into Tokamak, one of the largest maps in the map pool. We had Maganath there earlier. Tokamak here and now. Let's go. Another large map. Very defensive as well. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Tokamak, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Shanghai Rebellion. Tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is ByuN. And spawning in the left-hand corner, going for the proxy. 2 axes SCVs are being sent out. Let's go. Send out across the map. We have the red Terran player representing the bottom heroes. It is Nicoract. Let's go. as the Raxes are being thrown down. And the proxy's upon us. Now, welcome to Tokamak. We just mentioned Tokamak is not the largest map, but is, I would say, probably the most defensive map in the map pool. It's very large, very defensive. Very large, very defensive here. And because of that, I was going to say there's a high chance that ByuN goes for a Rax expand, that he goes for an economic opener, but ByuN, he doesn't go for it. He does go for a double gas instead. So this is not the ideal for Nicoract. Ideally, Nicoract, he wanted to try to catch ByuN being greedy and being economic, but that is not the case here. So ByuN is playing safe. Yeah, ByuN, he'll play safe. So ByuN, he will have the tools to defend, but it still comes down to execution. It still comes down to the micro, to the control. Oh my, he's doubling down. He's crazy. Proxy 3 racks Mass Reaper. Let's go. It's all or nothing for Nicoract. And again, like if ByuN had gone single gas, then sure, I could believe. But we'll see. We shall see. Factory's on the way. And ByuN, we'll see if he can confirm what's going on. If he's able to scout this ahead of time, if he's able to scout the proxy, which, I mean, he doesn't check with the SCV, he's checking with the Reaper, then he can pre-pull the boys. And he will have to pull them to protect his first Reaper. He's checking. Yeah, he does check. Oh, and no, he doesn't keep it. He does not check. He does not keep going. He barely will miss this. Barely does miss it. If he had seen this, then he would have pulled some SCVs already here to be on top of the high ground. Reapers move in. Delays the CC. Now ByuN is aware. Hellions in production. CC gets cancelled. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Oh, meanwhile, Nicoract almost gets surrounded. KDA charge does go off. He gets one. Barely not. That Reaper is so low. So incredibly low here. But so far, 2 versus 3. The Hellion has arrived. Yeah, the Hellion is now out. Nicoract from here has to pull away. Waiting for more reinforcements as the game goes on. As the game goes longer, it's getting better here for ByuN. Working towards that second Hellion. Goes off the ramp. Trades out Reapers. Gets another Reaper towards the end. But the Hellion will stand strong. I say the Hellion goes down, but here comes second. Yeah, second Hellion has arrived, and ByuN is holding. ByuN, he is holding on. And soon is going to have another Hellion. And it's becoming a little bit more dire here for Nicoract. He traded with the army, that's nice and all, but he needed more than that. And now he's up against 2 Hellions. The boys are hit a tank. Nicoract, he gambled hard with this. He gambled very hard with this. There's a supply block here for ByuN. Okay. Oof. So another Reaper goes down. Does barely get on top of the Hellion. But now we have a Cyclone on the way. We are still down to only 1 Hellion though, true. There is a window in time. Breaks through the SCVs. Oh! Trying to get on top of the Hellion, does get it! Hellion goes down! Okay, Hellion does fall, the Cyclone is still in production. Again, because the Tech Lab, the follow-up Hellion was not here. Oh, can we still pull this off? Cyclone has arrived, SCVs are going down, there's the first lock-on. The Cyclone will clean this up. And without losing 11, 12 SCVs. That is critical damage. Is it enough though? I mean, there's no CC, but we have a 1-1-1. We have Banshees on the way. Nicoract back at home. There's that factory. CC on the low ground. Nicoract trying to transition out of this. Did he scout? Yeah, he saw. He saw the Tech Lab on the starboard. This screams Banshee. And Nicoract, he needs a Cyclone. He needs a Cyclone back at home. Without anti-air, that Banshee is going to wreak havoc. As ByuN moves out. Nicoract does have a slight worker lead, that is true, but it may not matter against the Banshee. Banshee is coming. Yeah, there we go. The Banshee has arrived. Cyclone, it only just began. It only just began here. How many SCVs are going to fall so far? 3, 4, 5 SCV kills. The CC is heavily delayed. ByuN, his zone is almost done. Yeah, and Nicoract, he just didn't get there in time. Didn't get there in time. Losing 10, losing 11 SCVs. Oh, God, God, look away. 12, 13, 14, 15 SCV kills. Gets a mule as well. Takes out the mule, takes out another SCV. And with that, that's Banshee has secured the game here for ByuN. Again, Nicoract, he did Campbell quite hard by going for the proxy through Rex Reaper. The Gamba was there, baby. And with that, ByuN getting further ahead, landing his own natural. It's going to be a rough road to recover here for Nicoract. I would say the best option would be to try to go for some kind of all-in. Macroing out of this is going to be difficult. I mean, ByuN, he's up 10 workers already, and he has extra mules. Orbital is not done for Nicoract. The best chance would be that ByuN is too greedy. Like, if ByuN is overly greedy, if ByuN makes mistakes, that's where you can capitalize on that. But we're in a situation where Nicoract is relying on ByuN to make those mistakes and to be passive. Oh god. As we're not done killing workers. We're not done. 5 more SCVs going down. We have macro accelerators on the way. Killing more SCVs. And it's all or nothing. Here it is. It's all or nothing here. One last hurrah for Nicoract. Now the supplies are actually quite close. The supplies are close, but he's pushing into 2 siege tanks. Does have a disable. He has 1 disable. Does get the tank, but there's another on the high ground. Yes, another tank. GG gets called, and with that, ByuN will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, ByuN. He will claim the series. He will advance on, but a shout out to Nicoract for making a series out of it. And I'll be honest, there's a world where Nicoract could have 2-0'd. Like, I'm still thinking about that game on Persephone. I'm still thinking about that push on the right hand side towards the third base. Like, there was definitely a lot of potential there. But of course, in the end, ByuN held. ByuN, he was able to catch out the army. GG, well played. Regardless, congratulations to ByuN for making it through, and again a shout out to Nicoract for making a series out of that, and for again almost bringing down ByuN. There are definitely a lot of people that who don't maybe they don't watch these regular tournaments, maybe they don't watch these weeklies, or they don't watch much of the European scene. But now I would hope that if you're seeing Nicoract for one of the first times, you now have some a better idea of his level of skill here. And again, like, ByuN was of course favored in the series, but Nicoract, he can pop off. He can pop off in these matchups. Can pop off, he can overwhelm. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. And with that, ByuN is now waiting in the grand finals, waiting for his next opponents. Who exactly will that be? We're here to find out. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket has been progressing. We have our lower semifinals ready for us. Let's go. As we are heading over. So we're heading over to the Korean region here as we have our updates. herO takes out Mixu 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. And likewise, we have Creator. Creator takes out Eva 2-1. Went to the ace match. Did go to the ace match here, did go all the way to game 3, but Creator does take that series and does advance on to the semis as well. Now from here we are jumping into our PvP. Jumping into our lower semifinals. Let's go. Let us go. And we'll see how this series does unfold, and hopefully our latency is okay here. I'm more than prepared to, yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I did notice. I'll probably turn on our VPN for game number 2, so I do apologize for, as you can see here, some of the frame drops in game. That is just our connection to the Korean server, so I will turn on the VPN for game 2. For now though, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have our South Korean Protoss player. We have our blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Alcadzia Esports. It is a creator. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our lower semifinals match. Again, I will be turning on my VPN for game number 2. Hopefully everything is stable until then. So you are going to be settling in. Now, when it comes to our PvPs, herO, he's very dynamic. And when it comes to his Protoss versus Protoss, and he does often mix things up. He does often enjoy going for faster expansions. As you can see here, no second gateway. No second gateway. So this should be gate into Cybercore into Nexus, or just straight up gate expand. Going for the Cybercore. So again, herO going for the max packs. Again, this opener has been very popular over the past 6 months in the Korean scene, including players like herO, Classic, Trap, and Creator as well. But for now, Creator going for a 2-gate opener. So standard opener out of Creator, a much more greedy start out of herO. Creator, he will probe scout, he will confirm how greedy herO is being, and Creator, he will have the option to 1-base all in. But that is why herO is chasing the probe, chasing that worker to make sure that there is no proxy. Speaking of, there is a proxy. Just a pylon for now. Adepts are going to be on the way. So double adept opener here out of Creator. Just catching up. Did I miss the ByuN Slayer doing it again? It's crazy. It's crazy. That Nicoract did well for himself. As Creator, he's going for the proxy robo. 1-base all in. 1-base all in the face of herO. Does commit to the all in. Meanwhile, herO behind this, going for his own extra gateway setup here, going for a Stargate response. He will depower the robo. Nice snipe. Takes down the pylon, depowers the robo. Likewise, will take advantage of these adepts as well. This proxy is being shut down. He cannot keep it powered. And Creator's in a rough position. Creator, he's in a rough position. Again, this was so greedy from Creator to commit to the proxy despite being scouted. Remember, like, herO, he was there to see the pylon as it was thrown down. And that's going to be a kill. Oof, that's going to be a kill on the robo. Creator is expanding back at home, but this is a late expansion. And again, that was a big investment. So the robo is killed. Creator, he's forced back. And herO, he's looking very comfortable here. Very comfortable. Oh. Trades 1 for 1. God, takes down the sentry as well. Takes down the sentry, the adept. Not like this. Not like this. And again, it is going to be a tough hold here for Creator, as just nothing has gone well for him here in this game. Stalker's now waddling in. If they do waddle in, they focus on the sentry. Sentry goes down, pylon goes down, shield battery stays depowered, and herO, he should be able to break this. He should be able to break this location. I say that, that's a decent Stalker count here for Creator, but he's distracted by the Oracle. He's distracted. herO still gaining more ground. The Oracle rotates back around. Oh! Does take some shots. And Creator down to 2 Stalkers, soon to be 4. Ooh, herO does waste a shot on the gateway. Creator holds. Ooh, Creator, he does hold on. He does force herO back, but herO, he reinforces. He's still not stopping. Maybe he should. As here, he wants that Stalker. Oh my god. He wants him. That's for the boys. Yeah, the boys are pulled. There's that recall. Again, here getting greedy. That wasn't really as worth it. Losing extra Stalkers. Creator warping in across the map. Hero back at home. Does got this. Does confirm. He wants that Stalker. We'll get it. Stalker goes down. Creator, he's still trying to commit. Won't be able to. Warping is denied. Yeah, nice with attacks there, and GG gets called. Creator, he just runs out of steam. It was just a very rough start, and with that, herO will take game number 1. GG. Again, just a really rough start there for Creator to have been scattered when it came to his proxy, when it came to his all-in, for the robot to have been killed because of that, and yeah, with that, it was a rough road to recovery there. Like herO, he just did not back off. Like herO, he had no chill. No chill whatsoever. GG. GG, well played. As we are getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2 here. Just winding it back to how the game started. herO, he went for a greedy opener. herO, he went for a gate cyber expand. Meanwhile, Creator went for a 2-gate opener. He went for a probe scout. He saw the greedy build out of herO, and his response was to throw down a proxy robo. The problem was that herO, if you remember, he was chasing the scouting probe, and he saw the pylon thrown down. Like, he was there for it. He was there when the pylon was thrown down. So herO chroned out Stalkers. He was able to kill the pylon, kill the robo, and that from there was just a shaky road to recovery for Creator. Alas, herO, he was just so aggressive afterwards, and GG. With that, GG well played. But here we go. Now we're jumping into game number 2, and we'll see if we can bring this all the way to an ace match. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Green Protoss player, we have the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the other South Green Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Alcadia Esports. It is Creator. And look at how smooth it is. For those who are curious, I do apologize. I don't know if you noticed, but in game 1, in-game, there were like some frame drops, or like it was just stuttering in-game. Here, smooth. I just turned on my VPN. We just turned on our VPN. Again, the Korean server is not really kind to those in Australia. Even though, like, physically, I guess we're closer than other parts of the world. Basically, for those who are unaware, the routing from Australia to Korea is not ideal. I think it goes, like, even Australia to Singapore. From my understanding, I think the routing actually goes to the US and then back to Singapore. Like, it's not like direct. Like, it's messed up like that. But like, yeah, by default the routing is just really rough, and that's also why it's especially back in the day when there were more pros in Australia, everyone played with VPNs. Like, everyone had to like use Mudfish, I should say, and reroute everything to play on the Singapore server, or to play on the Korean server as well, and the Taiwanese server. It's just, yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal. Sometimes it's okay depending on what node you connect to. But I should just get used to whenever I cast on Korea, I just immediately just turn on the VPN. Regardless though, 2-gate opener. This time 2-gate opener into the Cybercore here from herO. Likewise, 2-gate opener into Cybercore from Creator. So mirrored builds. This time herO isn't cutting corners. This time herO isn't being hyper greedy. This time we have mirrored openers. Now when it comes to our initial units, we have a Stalker Sentry out of Creator. This is much more macro oriented. And we have a double Stalker out of herO. Does open up double Stalker. So with this, hero's going to be more aggressive. Double Stalker into a third and fourth Stalker. The pylon block here to delay the expansion. And remember, Creator, he's being more macro-oriented with that Sentry. Sentry allows for a scout. Hero may just commit. Okay, there we go. Does expand. Does expand, but here he's rallying across the map. Ideally, here he wants to try to cache the Sentry. Safety shield batteries on the way for Creator. He's setting up back at home. Ooh, Hero, can he catch out the hallucination? Oh! Ooh, not quite. Hallucination moves out. Does spot the Stalkers. You can see Creator getting ready back at home. It's getting ready. Shield battery's almost done. As Hero's moving in. Again, he wants that Sentry. Nice force fields. We'll lock down the Stalkers, and he trades. Oh, doesn't actually trade. We'll lose a Stalker, and he does not get the Sentry. Nice save. Nice save at a Creator. He does hold. So far, so good. Here, he still wants that Sentry. Still wants it. Oh. Last Creator is holding. Meanwhile, more Sentries on the way, so Hero can try to lock this army down. Force fields this early on. I mean, they are key. They can be brutal. And, ooh. Toss right in the first force field. Zones away. Behind this, we have our take of choice going for a Robo Opener. Oh, wait, sorry, Twilight Council. Like, there it is. I was like, I swear I saw a Robo. So, Robo Opener into a delayed Twilight Council out of Hero. Meanwhile, straight up Twilight Council out of Creator. Early Blink. So, Creator, he will have faster Blink. Meanwhile, Hero, he does have that Prism into faster Immortal production. Adepts move out. Creator's moving in. Two Adepts taking one-shot probes. Headed for the mineral line. Shades into the main. Gets one probe already. Gets one, two, getting up to three. This is getting out of hand. 4, 5 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, Creator also shades in. And we're trading back and forth. Stalkers into the mineral line. Hero bleeding out a lot of workers. Nice force field. Does force with the ramp. Here he's locked in. Not in a good way. To get locked down into the main, and so far 14 probe kills. Ay, 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 almost a full mineral line. 14 workers go down. Hero, his economy here is going to be crippled. And Hero, he's all in. Like, this is critical damage. He's all in at this point. There's no macroing out of this. It's all or nothing for Hero. And Creator, can he hold on? Second shield battery's on the way. Getting a second shield battery. Trying to hold the line. Likewise, Hero pushing in. Trying to force his way through. Nice force fields. Slowing down Hero. And again, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Creator. He just has to hold the line. Has to buy some time. Nice hallucinations. But we do target down the real. Oh my god, does target down the real Immortal. Prism goes down. Immortal goes down as well. And boys are being pulled. Creator, he's shutting this down. Gets on top of the sentries. Stalkers, a blink away. A lot of probes are falling. Never mind the Stalkers. They're not a part of this. Creator, he has to move in. Joker does blink forward. Warps in an extra wave of Stalkers. They should be okay. Yeah, he should be fine here. Whew. Creator, he will hold. He cleans up the entire army. Takes down the final Adepts. Creator, he will lose 14 probes. He's still ahead in workers. 30 to 25. And the difference being here, yes, Hero, he was able to do a lot of economic damage, but it cost him the entire army. Meanwhile, Creator, he still has a standing army. And is counterattacking. He's moving out. And Hero has nothing. Hero, he has 1 Immortal, 0 shield batteries, and no other gateway units. The Adepts are across the map. So 2 Adepts across the map. Hero down to just the 1 Immortal. Creator, time to dive in. Oh. Okay, there's a dive. Blinks forward, takes down the Immortal, but a second Immortal has arrived. Okay. Hero, he's holding on. That was a really clutch timing with the second Immortal. Really clutch. Ooh. Creator, he'll blink in regardless. He will snipe the Immortal. Immortal still goes down. And again, that was the one thing going Hero's way, was his Immortal production. Down to 0. I'd have to say shade in. Uh oh, not again. They shade into the bases, they get 2 probes. Creator, he will hold. He will hold, and here again, he's on his last legs here. Here he's trying to recover, and there are ways to do so, as you can see with these adepts, right? With a couple of adepts, you can achieve quite a lot in PvP. Creator, he moves out, he doesn't have much at home to defend. Here he drops back in. Creator, he doesn't see this. Adepts take it into the mineral line. Killing more probes, killing a lot of workers actually. Getting 3 probes. You know what, Creator blinking into the main. Here he has an army to defend. But he can't afford these losses. Not like this. Creator back at home, building up his own immortals, getting into +1 upgrades. Will soon have the upgrade advantage. Still has the economic advantage as well. To the main. Oh! This is going to be zoned away. It's been zoned away. Stalkers, they bypass the main army, going for the pylons, depowering the rover, at least trying to. There's 3 pylons. Jesus. You're forced back home. Creator, you just go further in. And just running rings here around herO. Blinks into the main, and from here just blink out. Remember, herO does not have blink. But he does have 4 immortals. Now, herO, I mean, he's been all in for the past like 10 minutes. This entire game. This is still a terrifying army. He has soon to be 5 immortals. That's a heavy immortal count. Like herO, he can take a fight with this. I say that he's up against 3 immortals himself. Soldier slows down. Glaives are on the way, so again, 2 base all in. So this is going to be Immortal Glaive Adept at 2 base all in out of herO. Now the hope for herO is that Creator's too greedy. Already Creator is getting a 3rd, which is okay, but he's getting a 3rd base. Creator's going to be saturating that 3rd base as well. Creator's working on +2, working on upgrades. Creator, he should still be okay. He also spots the move out. He sees what's coming. I would say that it's fine for Creator to get a 3rd, but there we go, he cancels. Yeah, he confirms there's no expansion. I was going to say it's fine for him to expand as long as he doesn't fight for the 3rd. Like, he cannot hold on to it. He just cancels. He's saying this seriously. So 2 base versus 2 base. Creator, he will hit the natural at the same time. Oh, depowers the gateways. That's going to be huge. That means herO can't reinforce. He gets supply blocked. Yeah, he cannot reinforce. And he's pushing into 3 shield batteries and a cannon. Nice force field to the Creator. He looks out the adepts. The adepts are on their own. Nice save. Probes are going down. herO, he has limited warp-ins. Once again, the force fields, they make sure the immortals are not a part of the fight. The immortals, they do nothing. The immortals do nothing. Again, the force fields are brutal. And here he'll lose everything else back at home. Pushing into the concave, and Creator is just having his way with his army. Creator is snowballing out of control, and we are here to force the ace match. Blinks on forward, takes down the prism. GG gets called, and Creator, he will tie the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Creator took a massive lead early on, with herO just doubling down, being hyper aggressive to begin with, and he was punished for that. He was shut down himself. If you recall, herO, he committed his initial all-in into the bases, into the natural. He lost everything as a result, and then he was vulnerable to a counterattack. And Creator, he crippled herO. I mean, it was even before that, if you recall. It was the Adept harass, right? The Adept and Stalker harass. Winding it back, the game started with Creator killing 14 probes. 14 workers. That was critical damage, which is why herO responded with an all-in. The all-in was not good enough. From there, GG. GG well played. herO, he was able to claw his way back into it and have a full ops 2-base all-in with Immortals, with Adepts, which was nice and all, but Creator, he was more than ready for it. And with that, we're going into the ace match. With that, we're going all the way to game number 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Alcadzia Esports. It is Creator. Here we go. But again, it was the early game damage that did cripple herO, that did force the all-in. And we'll see how we adjust coming into Pylon. Now, Pylon is one of the most aggressive maps in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, smaller map, very direct rush distance as well. So we typically expect aggression here on Pylon, but we'll see what our players go for. There we go, 2-gate opener out of herO, 2-gate opener out of Creator. Just like last game. No crazy faster expansions. Not this time. Hello, herO. As herO does have a probe out on the map. And looks like he will hide a second pylon. Now, Creator, he's aware. Again, the reasoning, one of the big reasons why you would probe scout like this is to confirm and to get eyes on the second pylon, and the fact that there is no second pylon is a tell. Now, whether or not herO commits, I mean, he's keeping the probe. Yeah, he's keeping the probe in position. This is close enough for a proxy robo. As we're waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is now done, and show us the proxy. Adepts are on the way. Stargate, not robo, okay. So this is not an all-in. It's going to be double Adept into a proxy Stargate. This is designed to get economic damage. This is not designed to kill, and from here, herO will expand. Now, Creator, he's not fully aware of what's going on. He knows that the pylon is missing, but for all he knows, it could be a fake proxy, it could be a real proxy, it could be robo into an all-in, it could be Stargate into a macro game. It's on Creator to try to determine what's going on, try to piece it all together. herO's moving in, Stargate is on, Oracle is going to be on the way. Creator, he doesn't flinch, he expands. Likewise, Creator's in position to block, to wall off. Will defend the main. Will defend the main base. Building up more Adepts, he's getting up to 6 Adepts, oh my god, hyper aggression here from Creator. Not stopping with his Adept production. Oracle into the main. Shield battery just now began. And the Oracle will get damage done. There's no anti-air. Yeah, no Stalkers. Nothing. Oh god, this is going to be brutal. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Oh god, there's no way out. He's stuck. He's trapped in his own main. And Creator is counterattacking. He has to counterattack. Again, Creator, he did not read this as a proxy Stargate. He was not ready for it. The Oracle does wreak havoc. Adepts a bust into the main. And likewise, here will also lose probes. Boys are being pulled, probes are going down. Nice kiting here from Creator. He does pull away. Creator, he will lose 9 workers, but at the same time, he also kills 9 across the map. He's not done. He's not done. Takes down 1, 2 Adepts. Takes out another probe. So 10 probes and 2 Adepts. Not bad. And he's like, oh god, he's shading it. He shades it again. And this is too much. This is becoming too much here. Killing 12. 30. Can we get up to 14 again? Up. Oh, not quite. 12. 12 probes go down. herO down to 14 workers. Going for a second Oracle. This is scouted. Creator's aware. behind this Creator getting in position. Now what I will say is that Creator is ahead. That is true. Creator, he does have a worker lead, does have an economic advantage, but with 2 oracles, herO can one-shot. So even though there are some shield batteries in position, damage can still be done. herO can still threaten these bases. Dives into the main. Gets 1, gets 2, gets, oh, just 2. Takes on 2 workers, pulls away. Oh, not again. Creator, he just keeps shading in. herO! I mean, he is pulling a herO. The wall has been open the entire time. Just leaves it open. More probes going down. herO, we need to warlock back. Okay, we need to calm down. Get a probe in position. Ay, ay, ay. herO, he's too welcoming, man. He's too welcoming. He sees a fellow Protoss, he just lets him in. Ah. That's herO attempting to counterattack. Moves out with 4 adepts. Likewise, does come into the natural base. Okay, gets a couple of probes. Gets 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Not bad. Gets 3 workers. Will get another probe here in the natural. Shades into the main. Killing even more, getting even more damage done. Ooh, and this is also, we're getting chaotic here. we're getting messy, man. We're getting messy. Here we go. How many workers have gone down in total here? 19 and 16. Jeez, so many workers have gone down. herO shading back in. Does shade back in, killing even more probes. And despite herO losing so much at the start of the game, he is recovering. He's catching up. He's taking a lead. 34 probes. Coming back in, getting another probe. Oh, barely getting one more. Oh! Barely getting one more probe. 14 in total. herO does take a 9 worker lead. Ay. Adepts, they just keep shading in. The adepts are not stopping, baby. They're not stopping. Oh, God. Now, when it comes to our take of choice, Creator, he does go for Blink. He does go for a Twilight Council into Blink. Meanwhile, we do see herO avoiding his own Twilight Council for now, going for his own Robo into Immortal production instead. So Creator's going to have the more mobile army with Blink Stalkers. herO's going to have a more robust army with Massive Mortal instead. So we are going for a bit of a different approach. Going into Immortals. Likewise, the Oracles are still active. They're still threading. They still get 4 more probes. This PvP feels like they're both punching each other in the face and no one's defending. Like, no. It's they're both animals, fucking. They're both animals. No one's got their guard up. We just keep punching each other in the face. Oh, God. You're both animals. But here we go. But here he comes out of. I mean, here he's used to it. He's used to it. He likes losing probes. Likes keeping everything open. And here we go. He does move out on 2 bases. He's got that 1 Immortal. Glaives are on the way. We saw the attempted Immortal Glaive all in last game. We're seeing it here as well. They do work well together. As herO has a terrifying army. Again, Creator investing in upgrades in the Forge and +1 in his own Robos and Immortal production. That tells me that Creator, alas, his army is still lacking. Likewise, he was down in workers, he had to recover. herO getting a 3rd. He expands. herO doesn't have to push in. He doesn't have to. I mean, I think he could try to break this, but for now, just threatening shades. Throw in another shade. Just keeping creator pinned. Glaive's almost complete. Just not finishing up. And again, herO, he shouldn't commit to any of these shades. Like, there's no reason to commit, no reason to push in. herO just has to play it slow. Play it slow, play it safe. And just saturate his third. Just saturate the third. Catch up on upgrades. He has Zone Forge halfway done. Creator, meanwhile, is breaking out. Oh, the stasis! Oh, he blinks it! No! He blinks into the stasis! Oh, no. Does take the stasis to the face, which means herO can commit now. Like, he can take the fight. Speaking of, Oracle's into the main. Probes are going down. herO, does he engage? Looks like he wants to. Moving in. Oh. Okay, does respect the army, does back off. Creator is in position. Ooh, catches out both Oracles. Just the one. Does get an Oracle. Does save the Stalkers. But again, this is just giving time for herO to fully saturate. The base is up and running. Now we have a wall of shield batteries on the way. herO, he backs off. He relinquishes map control. Now it's time for Creator to counterattack. But the problem is that herO is ready for this. He's ready, he's set up. Oh, God, not again. Not again. Not again. Bad. We'll take another stasis, and again, this just delays. It just delays. It just makes the push that much later. It gives herO more time to warp in. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. Oh god. Punishes the Stalkers. A lot of them do go down. Creator rotating over. Oh! We'll take another stasis to the face. Ah, god. Thankfully baits out the second stasis at least, and now it's go time. And herO collapsing in. Saves the Immortals. Does pull back. Once again, nice force fields out of Creator. Unfortunately, there's a Prism. Here he preserves his army. Creator still trying to force his way in, but he just barely cannot. He goes to the dive, takes out the War Prism. Prism goes down, gets one, gets two Immortals. Creator fighting well for himself. He's gaining ground. He will focus on both the Immortals, and herO barely not enough. herO, he has 700 minerals in the bank. He needs to warp in, but he has no gas. Yeah, herO, he has limited gas. The minerals, they don't mean much. There we go, warping in some slow lots. Adepts as well. The boy is now a part of the army. Last herO not saturating his gases here it's hurting him. He holds. Whew, again, that was a closer fight than it needed to be. It was closer. Again, the lack of gas just meant that herO just could not really warp in reinforcements, outside of slow lots, of course. And he was forced to in the end. He's got his 4 slow lots. Oh. But again, we were just all in, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left. There's no third base. So the all-in has failed. And with that, GG gets called to herO. He will claim the series at 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense final game there. Again, very back and forth as well, very messy. Creator, he was popping off killing probes, and herO was popping off and killing probes as well. You don't want to be a probe, not between these two. You don't want to be one of their workers, as so many probes did go down between the two of them. Of course, eventually herO was able to take a lead. Eventually herO was able to take that advantage, take the economic lead, I should say, as he was able to cripple Creator, then contain him. and just mass expand behind it. With that creator, that's why he was forced into a 2-base all-in, but the all-in was so heavily delayed. Those shield batteries were brutal. Shield batteries? The stasis traps, I meant to say. The stasis traps, they were brutal time and time again. They were connecting, and it's not like herO was punishing too much, killing any stalkers. It happened a couple of times, but for the most part, it was just buying time. It was just buying time. It was just delaying the all-in and allowing herO to warp in. And you saw how close that all-in was. That final fight was actually quite close between the players. Like creator, he almost had enough to break through. Imagine if that had hit like 1-2 minutes earlier. With that, GG. With that, GG well played. Here he'll advance on to the grand finals, and we are getting ready here for the final series of the broadcast. We're getting ready for that best of 5. Let's go. And shout out to creator. Shout out to creator again. He did fight well for himself. Again, it was still a very chaotic series, and again, not just from creator but from herO as well. But GG well played. With that, we are now getting ready here for our next matchup. Getting ready for those finals. But before the grand finals, it's time. It's time for La Rifa, baby. Let's go. Whew, as we catch up on the bracket itself, but there has been a lot going. But of course, we have more than just the bracket. We have the raffle as well. For those that maybe haven't tuned into the Sparkling Tuna Cup in the past, for our tournaments, we have something special here. We have a random participation raffle. Bam. Hold on, let's show this off. There it is. We do have a random raffle here. Every single Sparkling Tuna Cup, basically 5 USD. 5 USD. Nothing too major, but you know, some prize money nonetheless does go to a random participant of our tournament, regardless of their performance, regardless of how they placed. They do have an equal chance here to earn some prize money. We'll see who it goes to. It could go to a finalist like herO or ByuN, or it could go to someone that got knocked out in the first round as well. Here we go. Here we go. As this week we had 22 players, we had 22 eligible players, and this week one of them does walk away a little bit richer here. And this week, congratulations! Oh, congratulations to Azura, the Italian Protoss player. Okay, Azura, just barely over Ragnar, Prome, Rebellion, Mixu, and Choi Galaxy. That's a lot of Protoss down there, and some Zerg. But congratulations to Azura, as he does walk away with 5 USD. Congratulations! Exclamation mark rigged in the chat, as always. But congratulations, Azura, the #1 Zaun fan, of course, does walk away with the random participation raffle. Congratulations. Congratulations, as now we can catch up on the rest of our tournaments with the grand finals. Let's go. Azura. Here we go. So we're jumping into our best of 5. Of course, predictions will soon be open in the chat. They'll soon be open. We are just getting ready. Vetoes are now done, and we are jumping into that best of 5. Let's go. Also, as we get into this, if you want to help support us, if you want to support specifically the Sparkling Tuna Cup, this is a weekly tournament, as you can see, for 93 weeks. For 93 weeks of Sparkling Tuna Cup. We've been running this event for many years at this point. And if you want to help support this tournament, you can do so via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. The Patreon is designed to fund our, not just Sparkling Tuna Cup, but also Masters 1 Open and Sea Duckling Open as well. Basically, all of our tournaments are funded via Patreon, so if you want to help us grow those tournaments, you can do so via the Patreon as we reach our next goals. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons. Thank you so much, and we appreciate the support. We do appreciate it. Thank you. As our tournaments have grown quite a bit over the past couple of months, so we do appreciate it. It's because of that where for a long time our tournaments were only top 2. Only top 2 players are being paid, but now thanks to the support on Patreon, top 4 semi-finalists get paid out as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to all those supporters on Patreon. As we jump into the grand finals this morning, in the right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our blue Protoss player. We have our South Korean Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, going for a fake proxy Rax. Oh, hold on. There's a lot going on. We have our South Korean Terran. We have our Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Let's go. We go. Oh, good morning. So stabby. Good morning. As ByuN, initially he was going for a fake proxy Rax, but he's going for a 2-Rax Reaper back at home. So 2-Rax Reaper is a quite an aggressive start here, and we'll see what he can get done. herO, no probe scouts. Despite the fact that ByuN is being cheeky and that ByuN is kind of like hiding his Raxes and doing all these flips, doing all these tricks, herO doesn't even bother with a scout. herO doesn't care. herO going for a standard opener back at home. ByuN rallying out with those Reapers. CC on the low ground, and this is designed to get economic damage. This is designed to get some pro kills. We'll see what ByuN can accomplish. Also, if you want to help support our tournament here, not just via Patreon, but also Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat as well. We do have a Matcherino page for our tournament. Unfortunately, our tournament is not big enough to have any codes, so no codes on Matcherino, but you can support us there as well. Patreon will help support our entire tournament series and our weeklies and just all of our tournaments. The Matcherino is a way to boost the prize pool specifically for this tournament, for this weekly. For Sparkling Tuna Cup 93 specifically. Meanwhile, as we said, just a big shout out to Smile. Gah, papi, gah. Este Smile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I'm assuming, ladder session or maybe some Zelda gameplay. I hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much, Smile. Este Fuego. And welcome to the finals. You tune in just in time for the grand finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, herO versus ByuN. I should also emphasize that the Reapers so far, they don't really get much damage done. They're being active, that's true, but being zoned away. herO, he will deflect. Behind this, ByuN rushing into a 3rd TC. Very greedy here by ByuN. 3rd TC after the factory before the starport. This is a 3cc 2-on-1. Something you rarely see in this matchup. Okay, Let's go. So the greed is real. Because this setup as well, currently no tanks. We're going into faster stim though. We have the tech lab on the racks, going for a faster stim, going for a bio-heavy composition. herO likewise going for an economic opener as well. What do we have here? 2 gates. So 2 gates blink into a 3rd. Much more economic, very greedy build by herO as well. So both players are being greedy. I would say that ByuN is going one step further though. Hallucination goes in. Hallucination does not confirm. Ooh, he fails to scout. Just barely is denied. He sees the 2-1 setup, and he knows that something is missing here. Something's not quite right. Now trying to keep up with the Reapers. And does keep up. Welcome, Llama. Sí, los llamas. Ah. ByuN is being cleaned up. The Reaper opener didn't really achieve too much here, didn't really get many worker kills, so far herO has had a stronger start. But we'll see if ByuN can get away with a 3rd CC. So far building up, just now starting his own tank production, getting up to his 2nd tank, stim is almost complete. herO likewise moving out. Bearing in mind that herO, he has no intention of breaking the defenses here of ByuN. He does test the waters. Leaves out a Stalker, I believe. No, never mind. Oh my god, doesn't lose anything here. So nicely done here by herO. Picks up a couple of Marines, does blink away, and behind this is working towards charge and +1. A standard follow-up out of herO. Going for delayed splash damage. From herO, he can head towards either Storm or Colossus. With the robot on the way, I'm assuming it's going to be Colossus production with the Bay, but we'll see. Until then, it's on herO to contain. As ByuN is working on that SCV count, he's got his 3rd CC. Just muling, making workers. Hasn't landed yet. I mean, cannot. Meanwhile, we have confirmation, so it's going to be blink into +1 in charge into, indeed, Colossus. No Storm. Not yet. So we're going for Colossal production. Hallucination does get eyes on the main base. Yep, there we go. Does get eyes on the third CC. Now herO knows. Now he's aware of how greedy ByuN has been. And herO responds with a fourth. Correct response. We're going for a fourth base. As ByuN will eventually expand. He respects the army. Pulls away. Pull away, herO massing up his army. Now that ByuN has expanded at his third base, now he's out in the open. And herO, he's just going for the throat. Does dive in. Nice SimCity here with the bunkers. First tank goes down, the other two, they get a lot of volleys off, but they're being targeted here and down to one tank. One tank left. Colossus wasted shots on the... Wait, that's a fake, never mind. I was like, wasted shots on the depots. Alas, was a fake Colossus, and with that, ByuN, he will hold, he will defend, he will shut this down. Does cost him some SCVs, does cost him all the tanks, but does hold. Now what's important is that herO, he only lost Zealots there. He mainly traded out Zealots. Did preserve the Stalker count, and he should continue to do so. Trading with the army. Yeah, looking at the losses here, 3 Stalkers went down and 26 Zealots. Behind this, starting up a very real Colossus. Colossus are amassing. And without those tanks, now herO, he's free to do this. Yeah, he's free to just nibble away at the army, nibble away at the marine count. Dark Shrine is on the way. herO, he's on 4 bases. Now getting a 5th expansion. herO just maintaining map control and just containing ByuN and looking to bully. Ooh, as ByuN moves down, herO's moving in. Yeah, herO, he does hit the 3rd. ByuN out of position. Steaming on forward. He wants a Colossus. Colossus, they do pull away. Nice juggling here with the Prism. The Colossus, they just, they annihilate those Marines. Yeah, the Marines, they just melt before the Colossus. Yeah, nice hold position micro out of herO. Boys are being pulled into the Colossus shots. Oh, God. And ByuN, he will lose just far too much here. Once again, nice juggling. He looks like we do save both Colossus. And herO overwhelms. GG gets called. herO, he will take game number 1. Take a lead in the series. He's still playing, by the way. GG. Oh my God. Calm down, herO. Calm down. Yo, ByuN, he tapped out and herO, he stayed in the game and warped in an extra round of Stalkers. He... Oh my God. Just made sure to purify the 3rd. And with that, GG, herO, who will take lead in the series. Again, ByuN, he was being very greedy this game. This is why he was a little bit more passive and more defensive, just because of his greed. herO, he was able to take notice of that, and with that, just contain. Right, just be very assertive with the army, contain ByuN. Behind that, being quite greedy. We did mention that when he saw the 3rd, what did he do? Get a 4th. He took a 4th base, was able to fully saturate on 4 bases as well, quite quickly. And even though the first wave of attack didn't kill ByuN, he was happy to just trade Zealots, to just trade minerals for tanks, for gas-intensive units, and just keep going. Just keep warping in, keep trading. With that, GG, well played. herO eventually did break ByuN, and now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of torches, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. And we'll see if he can extend that series and keep that momentum. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shocklight Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. This is live. If it's via replays, it will be in the title. I see some people asking, is this live or via replays? This is live. If we ever do a replay cast, it is typically in the title of the stream, just as a heads up. And likewise, whenever we do a replay cast, the bracket command is usually not working. Usually the bracket command will tell you like, oh, it's, you know, no spoilers, it's a replay cast, so you can always test with that as well. If the bracket command shows a bracket, then it's live. So there's a couple different ways, if you tune in, if you are uncertain, to check for that. Meanwhile, welcome to Torches. Torches is going to be one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, one of the more vetoed maps as well, but in a best of 5, hey, less vetoes, so we're able to embrace some of these more unorthodox maps a little bit more often. With this single gas, it goes for a faster CC on the high ground. So this is going to be an economic start out of ByuN, but because of how assertive herO has been, ByuN will go for a safer economic start. So it means that his base is going to be a little bit delayed as he has to float it over, but it's going to be safer against like Adept Harass. Play herO. Back at home, herO going for a standard opener himself. The probe does survive and is going back in for a rescout, but is going to be found out, and the scout is going to be denied. So ByuN does catch the probe. And from here, welcome one and all to Torches. Torches, again, is one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool. Short rush distance by air, short rush distance by ground. There are some similarities with this map and El Dorado. If you remember El Dorado in the last map pool, where we have these gold minerals, or this gold mineral wall that you can mine through to gain access to the gold patches and the gold bases in the center of the map. Very often in certain matchups, we do see players actually mine through these minerals and expand in such a way and try to rush into these bases. That is usually done from the Terran side in TVZ. This is, I would say, done on the Protoss side in PvT. As we saw in the last game, as we're going into our second racks, interesting, by the way. If we go for a third racks, and this does scream 2-base all in, so we'll keep an eye on the racks count. But as you saw in the last game, it is not uncommon for Protoss players to actually gain a little momentum early on to gain map control, and if they can do that, if they can pull that off, then herO is going to be free to expand and to claim that gold as well. Ooh, eBay gets thrown down before the starport. Again, we're expecting another racks. Hallucination does confirm the prioritization here of marine production. Likewise, fast tech lab on that Rax, which means fast stim. So very aggressive start here from ByuN. Takes a while to get going, but this will hit like a truck. There's that fast +1. There's also a healing pad, which doesn't come into play too often, but there's a healing pad on the left-hand side. As ByuN does pull away. herO going for a 2-gate opener into a third base. Very economic build here by herO. Bold move, considering the setup that he saw, by the way. Yep, third racks, 2-base all in. I mean, we already saw the fast eBay anyway, but now we have confirmation, and now herO confirms as well. Now, on the one hand, I would say that herO is being quite greedy against this, but he's going for charge, not blink. And these fast charge builds are designed to shut down all-ins, specifically tank-oriented all-ins, and it is going to be that. Like, we're building up to like 3-4 tanks, working towards that strong sim timing. Having mass zealots would be a way to overwhelm that kind of army. So here, I mean, he read this well from the beginning. We'll see if ByuN pulls the boys. He will have the option. He'll have the option to pull the boys with this, to help them tank, help them buffer. As ByuN, he's amassing. Stim is almost done. It's soon time to push across the map. It's soon time to commit. For now, he has 2 tanks. He's waiting for his third tank. Third tank is on the way. Hallucination does confirm. We do have a starport in production. Now, this starport tells us that looks like ByuN may expand. He may take a third from here. By going for a starport and waiting for medevacs, it is going to delay this push. If we are going to wait. No, okay, we're going. We're sending it. Tanks to do 1 siege. ByuN rallies across the map, and it's go time. It is go time here again. The entire purpose of this opener led to this moment. We have +1 stim and 3 tanks. And it's on herO to get ready for this. We need those warp-ins. And he does pull the boys. What was the starport for? I was like, if he's in the starport, he might not pull the boys. Nah, we send him. We send it, baby. The boys are being pulled. It's or nothing is making 1 medevac. 1 medevac to support. And now herO, now he's aware, now he knows. Does spot the SCVs. We do have some force fields though. It's gonna be a clutch hold for herO. Tanks they're pushing forward. I'm loving these Raxes here for ByuN. Widowmine as well. And herO, he's in a rough position. There we go, he's going for it. The unsiege! ByuN does unsiege just at the wrong moment. Maestro goes off. Nice SimCity here with the bunkers. Zealot's charging in. The tanks are going to be targeted down, but the Marines, they're in a slow position here behind the tanks. And the Marines, they will hold. Yeah, the Marines, they will hold on. They will shut down the Zealots. The bunkers, they did well for themselves. Ooh, the Marines get caught out. They barely slip away. Marines slip away. And ByuN, I think he has done it. He does push forward. His tanks, they're still up and running. There's barely an army left. Boys are being pulled, and the Immortal's being targeted down. Ooh, brutal tank shots. And ByuN's done it. ByuN, he has done it. He has pulled this off. Again, herO, he wasn't able to slow this down in the center of the map. He wasn't able to stop those bunkers. I think maybe that starport also threw herO off as well when he scattered. But with that, herO, he's done it. Sorry, ByuN has done it, and we are making a series out of this. GG gets called. ByuN, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to game 3. Let's go. GG, well played. The series is tied up. Again, herO, he saw everything. He saw everything he needed to. He saw the fast second racks. He saw the eBay. He saw the third racks as well. He saw everything that screamed 2-base all in. The starport threw me off. I might have thrown herO off as well. But herO, he barely wasn't ready for it. If you remember, he actually had a bunch of sentries in the center of the map. It looked like herO wanted to slow the army down with some force fields. But he missed the push. Like he missed the army and it got past, and the sentries, they had to race back home. It was a little bit messy there. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. ByuN, he sent it, he pulled the boys, and now we're going to game 3. Now, as a reminder, this is a best of 5. It is a best of 5. And what were the vetoes? Hold on. So, I was already shocked to see Torches, right? Torches is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool, so I was shocked to see that. Even more shocked, game 3, we're loading into Last Fantasy, the most vetoed map in the map pool, but we're experiencing it here and now in this best of 5. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner or the right hand side of Last Fantasy, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Oh. Representing Twisted Minds, it is herO. And spawning in the top side of Last Fantasy, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. I also should commend the army movement of ByuN as well last game. Like, he did a really great job when it came to throwing down his bunkers, and of course positioning his Marines, kiting back, creating that choke point, and making use of it against the mass charge lots. Really, really well done. And with that, we do have our third game. Oh boy, and welcome to Last Fantasy. Last Fantasy, of course, is a 3-player spawn map. We've been featuring a lot of 3-player spawn maps on this stream, but typically in StarCraft Evolution. In StarCraft 2, we haven't had one of these maps in a very, very long time. So finally, it is back. It has returned. herO, he scouts ByuN immediately. Meanwhile, ByuN, no SCV scout. No SCV scout, so
are under attack.
ByuN is not aware of the location of herO. Not yet. And we'll see how our players will approach this. Now, when it comes to Last Fantasy, it's definitely a interesting map. There's a lot going on. There's a lot kind of coming into it. It's honestly pretty small. The reason for this is because of all of these air blockers. There are air blockers surrounding everything, and it does make it awkward to go for drop play. To go for Banshee harass, Oracle harass as well. Just air-based harassment can be more awkward here on this map, as herO is being as annoying as possible. We'll delay the CC for like a couple of seconds. But these air blockers do make it a little bit more awkward here to engage and to harass and to be aggressive. with those air base units. On top of that, we have our, of course, speed zones. There are speed zones scattered throughout the center. That does make it a little bit easier to scatter across the map, to engage, to rush in. But another big feature that we did notice as we're going for a Marauder opener, there's that tech lab, is how defensive you can be. To be honest, the entrance towards the natural and towards the third, there's a lot of choke points. You can see here, very narrow choke point coming into the third, likewise a very narrow ramp coming into the third base, even more narrow ramp coming into the natural. We have seen players be quite successful turtling and defending on this map, defending on 4 bases and being able to get into the mid game, into the late game. But we'll see how ByuN will approach this, as again already does open up Marauder, and ideally wants to catch out the Adept. Adept is heading in. Marauder is revealed. Concussive Shell is done. Oh wait, no, sorry, we didn't research. My apologies. I just with the Marauder open, I just assumed we had a Concussive Shell. The Adept will escape. The Adept will pull away. ByuN does hold. Behind this, do you see what I see? I see a second Rax already. Now remember, what was the sign of the 2-base all-in last game? Second Rax before Starport, eBay and +1 before Starport as well. Basically, whenever you delay your Starport heavily in this matchup, it typically means that we're going for an all-in, that we're being hyper-aggressive, just because you're delaying any kind of drop play, any kind of harassment to focus on marine production to build up your army and to typically commit into an all-in. Not saying that's what this is now, but we're kind of leaning towards that. Yeah, there it is, third Rax. Third Rax before Starport. So we're rushing into Stim. Just like last game, we're rushing into Stim, we're rushing into a marine production, rushing into a heavy army. This time, +1 is delayed. This time, there is no eBay alongside this, but the Oracle will see everything. Ooh, the Cyclone will punish, though. Yeah, it's going to be a one-way trip. The Oracle is going to go down and gets 2 SCVs, but only 2 workers. That is not worth it. Adept does shade in. But this is a rough setup here. We have more Adepts trying to shade, but ByuN holds. Behind this Stargate opener into another Oracle. We were focusing a lot on ByuN, but this was a Stargate opener out of herO, and so far this has not been worth it. I'll be honest, I'm not too fond of the idea of going for Stargates. We spoke about how little rune there is in the air here, and yeah, herO losing that first Oracle is brutal. There's the eBay. eBay before, like, all this before the Starport. All this before Starport, rushing into Stim. Going for another add-on swap. Ooh, no tank production, though. Okay, so this is a little bit different. No tank production. No tech lab. Just mass bio instead. So a very Marine Marauder heavy composition. So this is a different build from last game. Different kind of composition, different kind of aggression. Now, because of the Stargate opener and because of the setup that we've had here, it's going to be later forge, later charge, later upgrades, later +1. I am concerned for herO. Meanwhile, ByuN, who of course did scouts.
Add-on complete.
Did scout across the map. There we go, add-on swap into medevacs, into reactor and medevac production. So we're going for drop play. Again, the factory was only used for add-ons and the first Cyclone, but only add-ons in the Cyclone. And ByuN will soon move out. Now, bearing in mind, herO, he won't have Blink, so his being able to try to keep up with the drops and shut them down is going to be difficult. We'll have +1, though, for his charge slots. Marines are spotted. ByuN, who will soon move out. And this is going to hit quite hard. It's going to hit very hard. Against only Zealot defense. I mean, there are stasis traps as well, true. There are a couple of stasis traps. Yo, shout out to the Tuna. Shout out to Dongwon. Oracle taking a lot of hits. Scan across the map. Reveals the Zealot, so he knows the charge was prioritized. ByuN, he's aware of the charge lots. Consolidating his army. Here, can he make a stand? He does spot this. Nice stasis. Slowing this down. Here, ideally, he does want to engage out in the open. He's ready for this. Okay, he does dive in. Does go for the dive. Ooh, Mixu goes off. Nice split there from herO. Mixu doesn't get much done. Ooh, and once again does split away. And herO, he will clean this up. He will shut this down completely. Yeah, the mine shots they did with. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here as he gets completely swallowed up. And herO is going to keep pushing. The wall is up. Does have the wall. And ByuN, now he expands. Third TC. He's forced back, forced to expand. ByuN is going to macro out of this, but here he has gained map control. And he might try to force his way in. At the same time, ByuN sneaks out. Uh-oh. Does sneak out. Storm is on the way for herO. Now getting a fourth expansion. But again, you could see how different the engagement was here and how different the dynamic was as well. Whereas in game 1, we saw that these chargers had such a hard time engaging with the army because of all the bunkers, because of the Sim City. Here, ByuN was caught out in the open. Oh, Storm isn't ready. Force the feedback. But again, ByuN, he was torn apart. Here, searching for the drop. Searching. Coming in from both sides. Oh my god, looking to get a full surround with his charge lots. And ByuN, he can't be out here in the open. He does have a lot of widow mines at least. That will help. And here he commits in. At the same time, ByuN going for a counterattack into the natural. Mine shots, they don't quite connect. Brutal Storm! Oh my god. Yeah, Storm is brutal. Another Storm here on the army. Oh, nice mine connections though on those zealots. Boys being pulled into the Archon. So many SCVs going to be going down. And back at home, here he holds. He holds the defense. He does have a warp pit available. And this is getting out of hand. 30 SCV kills. We're still not done. The zealots. 33. 34. 34 SCVs go down. At the same time, ByuN is still dropping across the map. Still doing what he can. But again, we have those warp pins. We have those reinforcements. Storm comes in. And ByuN, he will defend back at home, but he's down to 24 SCVs. He's down to, what, a one base economy, if that. Mules are good, but they're not that good. Ay, ay, ay. As ByuN is holding on with a handful of ghosts. herO, he's on 4 bases. It's crazy. And the soup does lie. What I mean by that is that, ByuN, he does have a larger army supply, but so much of that is in medevacs. You can see here he has so many medevacs, and that's where the army supply lies. Not in the attacking forces. Cool. As one full medevac goes down. Now he's rushing in. Here he will collapse on this. Oh, EB goes off. But there's just an overwhelming Protoss army. Yeah, here he will shut this down. Got a lot of medevacs, so there's a lot of micro potential, I suppose. As herO now can make use of his economy. More bringing more zealots, High Templar, Colossus production has begun. Getting into Extenthermal Lance. ByuN trading as best he can. Will take another Storm to the face. Aye, aye, aye. And here comes another Storm. Once again on the ByuN. On the Marines. Goes to the warp in. GG gets called as there's nothing left to defend. And herO, he will take game number 3. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Again, ByuN did have an interesting opener, if you recall. He did go for a 3-rack setup before the starport, but no tank production. He went into earlier Marauder production instead. He went for stim, earlier stim I should say. Went for a more bio-heavy composition. Not going for drop play, went for one strong bio push. Alas, he got caught in the center of the map. Brutal stasis trap. If you remember, a stasis caught half the army, and then herO moved in and caught the other half. He was able to get a full surround. He was able to shut down ByuN early on and just snowball out of control. It was after that fight that herO pushed in towards the natural and he got, what was it, 34? 34 SCV kills. It was brutal damage, game-ending damage. From there, ByuN, he was just on his last legs. He was trying to pull off maybe an all-in, like maybe herO would be too greedy. Like there was a chance that herO would make a mistake. But in the end, herO was secure, and with that, we're getting into game number 4. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series at 2-1. And 1 game away from claiming the series, it is herO. Rocking that SOS portrait. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Down in the series, we'll see if we can fight back here and now and force the ace match. It is ByuN. Going for the proxy 2 racks. Let's go. We see 1 SCV, we see 2 SCVs, so proxy 2 racks Reaper here out of ByuN. Sorry, I say 2 racks Reaper. We have seen herO historically, when I say historically, really over the past couple of months, struggle against Proxy Marauder. So I'm leaning towards Tech Labs and Marauders here, but we'll see how ByuN will piece it all together. herO, he is scouting, he's checking, does check the 3rd, and he is rallied over towards the other 3rd location as well. And herO, he will scout, he will confirm the Raxes. Let's go, he does see what's going on, he's aware of the Raxes. Will look to delay, and this is already a rough start for ByuN, as it is going to be 2x Reaper. Okay, so 2x Reaper, but ideally these SCVs, they would have been here to potentially even get a bunker up and running at the natural, but not anymore. The SCVs take a lot of hits. Likewise, the 2nd probe does arrive. He wants that SCV. Won't quite get it. Has to pull away. And herO, he is now getting ready. Now it's going to be up to herO here to micro back his probes, to micro back his units to preserve his mineral line, and to buy time for the Stalker. Oh, for the Adept. There we go, Stalker's on the way. Stalker's on the way, herO responding with his own proxy. Reaper into the main. herO does pull the boys. One of the probes does get low, and again you can see it's up to herO to pull away those weakened workers. As 1 probe goes down, gets 1 probe so far. Stalker has arrived. And herO holds. herO, he will hold. Behind this, ByuN is expanding. ByuN trying to transition out of this. Floating back. ByuN, he has abandoned this proxy. And again, herO responding with his own proxy Stargate. Oh, ByuN is scouting though. Yeah, he knows to scout, he knows to confirm, and he will find this, and he should shut this down. Again, a good response here out of ByuN. Having the wherewithal, and again, it looks like there's some history between these 2 players. After a failed proxy 2 racks, he's like, yo, herO's probably gonna proxy me. Yeah, he does. There's a cancel. So a solid read here from ByuN. As we pull away and we get into a standard game from here. Like after a chaotic start, we can take a breath, we can calm down, we can settle in. Now, because of the failed proxy here from herO, it does mean that his Twilight Council is late. It's going to be a later Twilight Council, later tech out of herO, later blink. This is going to help ByuN when it comes to recovering, when it comes to expanding. Even here is an SOS fan. I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think SOS has the herO portrait. Like, I think there's... You know, there's like a mutual respect between the 2 of them, despite the history. Oh, meanwhile, now I had assumed that the game was going to progress in a more standard fashion, but herO goes for the Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine. A cheeky follow-up out of herO, very cheeky. We'll see if we can get away with it. And now, of course, we'll see if scans are going to be available. Because the opener was so shaky and because this opener in this game has been so awkward, it does mean that there's a high chance that ByuN is going to be muling his heart out to catch up. That he's going to be muling as much as he can. And if he doesn't hold on to a scan, these DTs, they can wreak havoc. Meanwhile, we have our 3-1-1 setup. Tech Lab is on the factory, making safety cyclones. Bunkers are on the way. So far, we are muling. And there is a bit of like an RNG factor here. When the DTs rock up, is ByuN, does he mule just before that, or does he not? Will he have a scan ready? As of course there's no Raven, right? There's no Tech Lab on the Starport, so no Raven. No eBay, no turrets. Dark Templar, they're warping in. You know what? ByuN dropping into the main. Can he scout the tech? Probe's gonna be going down and up. He's so close. He does. He does scout the Dark Shrine. He knows. Now he knows to hold on to the scan. This is a big moment here for ByuN. And he's holding on. He's holding on to the scans. And again, even though this Cyclone drop didn't do any economic damage, it didn't do much damage, it scattered the main base, and that's what's important. herO rushing into the gold. Rushing into the gold base. DT has arrived, but again, ByuN, he knows to hold on to the scans. So he has 2 scans available. And this is still a very tense game state. Dark Templar into the main. And you can maybe get... Oh, no, not even. I was going to say maybe get a Marine, maybe get an SCV, but doesn't get any damage. Does force a scan, does a nice mining time. DTs they draw back in. Oh! And clutch micro there. herO does save. And what's important is that herO is doing everything he can to keep ByuN busy while he rushes into the goal. Like, this is very greedy here by herO. And we'll see if we can get away with it. It's all about just keeping ByuN's attention elsewhere. And so far it's working. Go. Oh. Now force back. Ooh, he's gonna be forced back. The prism goes down. Very nice pick off out of ByuN. Yeah, if you're hearing mouse clicks and it's, you're hearing my mouse clicks, papi. Aye. Do apologize. I'll try to move the mic over. The mouse clicks, they intensify. Oh. As ByuN, he breaks out. So herO is still trying to get that goal base up and running. Warping in some charge lots. Charge is done. ByuN is checking. ByuN moves in. Ooh, almost got unsieged. Almost, he does siege up in time. Immortals have arrived. Do we have enough zealots though? Yeah, brutal white connection. The tank is going to go down. Takes down the tank. Does so with the Marines. And here he's holding his own. He's holding his own. The goal base is now paying off. The gateway is now done. How many gateways? 8. We have an 8 gate set up on 3 bases. He can warp at 8 zealots at a time. Now taking up into the bay, into Colossus production. ByuN dropping over. He will have a path directly into the natural, or sorry, into the gold. Steps in. Dust him in. Does target down as much as he can. They're going 4 or 5 throw kills. And will boost away. Does barely boost away at the same time, going for a drop on the left-hand side as well. Going for a split push. And herO, can he keep up? He will clean up at least this army. There we go, gets a medevac. At the same time, Cybercore gets sniped. Cyclone drop back into the main. herO, he will respond. Cleans up the Cyclones. Pushing towards the natural. ByuN, he's racing back home. He does realize he doesn't really have much at home to defend. Yeah, there's not much here. ByuN being overly aggressive. Does have 3 Marines. Does have the bunker. Okay. The army does make it back home in time. Yeah, meanwhile, the mineral line is exposed. ByuN steps in. He does sneak in, getting another what? Getting another 5 probe kills. 5 more workers go down. herO racing back. Trying to catch at the medevac. Oh no! And he will. Yeah, he will catch it. Boost is on cooldown. Ooh, full medevac falls. Rough loss for ByuN. It's one of those things where, yes, he killed 10 probes in total. That is good damage, but because of the gold base, hero's recovering. Like hero, he's going to be recovering that much faster from those losses. ByuN now breaking out. He has a heavy marauder count now. Gross production has begun. Hero not quite ready. Nice force fields going down 4 marauders. Big loss there for ByuN. Oh, does snipe an immortal though. Not bad. Where are the zealots? So their second immortal goes down. Heavy losses there for hero. And a bit of an awkward engage, but there are plenty of zealots. There we go. They now arrive. We were waiting for them. Oh. Hero does force back ByuN. Now he's got his Colossus. 4th base getting up. And ByuN is now going to be contained. He's trying to have a presence on the map. But now that their Colossus is being bullied back, yeah, ByuN, it's going to be a tough hold. Kite's back, Ghost are going down. Nice mind shield here on the Zealots at least. Yeah, but there's just too much. There's too much Protoss here. GG gets called. ByuN, he will be broken. And hero will overwhelm hero. He will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's and for the very first time, a sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. hero, this is actually his first time competing in our tournaments. Again, we have plenty of regulars like ByuN, like Solar, like Creator, like Zaun even as well, but hero does jump into the pond for the first time, and he is going to be a Royal Roader. GG, well played. Congratulations to hero, as he is going to claim the win here, as he will be our champion. A shout out to ByuN for being a worthy opponent and a worthy rival. Was a very intense, very dynamic finals, of course. Both players that had their own moments, and more importantly, they even had fun with the vetoes. Like, we rarely get to see torches, and even more rare to see Lost Fantasy, and we got to experience them. We got to experience them here and now. So again, really intense games. When it came to that final game, when it came to game 4 on Persephone, again, hero, I mean, it was a very shaky start. If you recall, started with proxy 2x Reaper at a ByuN. Hero responded with his own Stargate, was scattered, was shut down. With that, went into DTs, and the DTs didn't really do much damage, but what's important was that they were able to buy time, able to distract, while hero rushed into the gold. And I feel like the gold base was really necessary, just because it was just a really shaky start for hero as well. So hero, he did get away with the gold base, and yes, ByuN was able to do some economic damage, but not enough to punish the gold, not completely. And with that, hero did overwhelm. ByuN took some rough fights in the center of the map. He got cleaned up, and hero was able to take full advantage of the gold and his 4th and that greater economy. GG, well played. Again, the gold kind of put a timer on ByuN, and with that, hero is our champion. Congratulations. And again, a shout out to all the competitors here tonight. Again, we did have not just hero, but actually we can tidy this up a little bit. Un momento. There we go. We had hero, of course. Fun fact, hero is actually the Solar replacement. Solar, he signed up initially, but Solar, something came up, so he couldn't quite compete. So Solar, he did tap out, and he was replaced by hero. Hero kind of stepped in and took the role of Solar. I'll be honest, I was looking forward to seeing some Zerg gameplay today. Never mind. Feels bad, man. Solar, he was replaced by hero at the start of the tournament, and on top of that, if you can see here, Wayne forfeited in the first round. If you remember, we started the broadcast off casting Sig, hoping to follow that into Nicoract and into Wayne as well, but Wayne forfeited, and of course Solar didn't show either. So we casted a lot of TVPs today. a lot of Terran versus Protoss. Unfortunately, we missed out on the Zergs. I say that, shout to Eba. You can see him down here. Eba, he took down Azura, and he took a map off of Creator. So Eba played very well for himself. Likewise, Mixu took down Demi, went up against hero. So they were able to hold their own, and again, shout out to Eba for forcing the ace match against Creator. We missed out on those games, but, you know, well done nonetheless. And of course, we had the favorites here, ByuN and herO. They were the top two seeds of the tournament. I don't want to gloss over this. Shout out to Nicoract, right? Nicoract, if you remember, he almost 2-0'd ByuN. Like, yo, I'm still thinking about that game too. I'm still thinking about Persephone. If you were here for it, I do recommend the VODs. But Nicoract, he almost 2-0'd ByuN. This was almost a Nicoract versus herO finals instead. It was crazy. And likewise, Creator, he also did well in the semis as well. Yeah, again, ace match in both semifinals. We got lucky there. We got lucky. We got fortunate with our matches. Really good games, really good series. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. And hopefully this is the first of many weeklies from herO. Again, this is the first time that herO has stepped into Sparkling Tuna Cup, and that might continue. We'll see. We shall see. Regardless, GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping things up here, and with that, we're done for the time being. I say for the time being, if we have a look at our schedule here, oh, that was also our raffle winner, Azura. Shout out to Azura, the Italian Protos. Did win the raffle. But checking out our weekly schedule, you can't quite see it here as we just wrapped up our final broadcast for Sunday, but we have another cast at, I believe, 1 AM KST. Hold on, let me just double check. No, sorry, at midnight KST. That's going to be at 1 AM AST in 1 hour. Fun fact, we're going to be live again in 1 hour's time with the herO Cup number 10 playoffs. We just mentioned how Wayne was unavailable here, but Wayne, he should be available for that tournament. Let's quickly have a look at it together, actually. We can give you a tease, man. So yesterday, last night, we were live with the herO Cup group stage. We were actually casting at the same time as Star Zagora. We were live at the time. I remember when we wrapped up, we were going to raid Star Zagora, but they had already finished. I was like, ah, never mind. Never mind. But here we go. Bam. So this is herO Cup. Again, shout out to MinoVK. Shout out to MinoVK for, of course, hosting this event. This is a monthly tournament for the CIS region. We do feature players from all around, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Kazakhstan, from Belarus. And here we have our top 8 players. It is going to be Strange, Art, Nicoract, UED Soldier, Wayne, Milky Cow, Shameless, and GG Machine. So this is going to be our top 8 players here for the event, and that is going to be taking place in an hour's time. So if you're curious, if you do want to tune into this, tune into some more StarCraft, then we do have you covered. Again, that's going to be in an hour. That will be here on the CranKy Ducklings. We will probably start with Wayne versus Milky Cow. We casted so much TVP in this broadcast. I would like to cover some Zergs. I'd like to cover some Zerg. So tempted to go for Wayne, Milky Cow, or for Shameless GG Machine, but I'll probably go for the TVZ. I'll probably go for Wayne and Milky Cow initially here in the first round, and then of course we'll be crowning our champion here tonight. And again, a shout out to MinoVK for hosting this event for as long as he has. For almost a year now, has been running these herO Cups, and shout out to all those working behind the scenes as well on that event. So much love to MinoVK. Again, it's been doing a lot of casting, a lot of streaming, a lot of content creation as of late. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up. For the time being. Again, I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go rest up and get ready for some more StarCraft. Oh boy. When it comes to our schedule, we were also scheduled to do a Little League Cup 40 broadcast, which I believe that is Scarlet versus herO. I believe we have a show match between Scarlet and herO. If I'm not mistaken, I have to double check. And we also have the Enki Pro Series show match as well. Again, we originally were going to be broadcasting that in 10 hours. 10 hours from now. But STC into herO Cup into those show matches, that might be a bit much. Like, I don't know how fatigued I'm going to be, so we might reschedule those show matches to next week instead, to be able to sleep before the Wardy TV Monday, because that's also going to be tomorrow as well. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you want to support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, if you want to support our regular tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup and Masters 1 Open and all our other events as well, you can do so via Patreon. There we go. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund these tournaments that we do host on a regular basis. Unfortunately, we missed out on our events last week because of all the EWC qualifiers But now we're back on track. And you can see our current Patreon goal. You can see it just under the schedule. Just under the graphic. We currently do earn 443 USD via Patreon, and our next goal is at 500 USD. And again, 100% of that money goes towards the players. It all goes towards the prize pool of these tournaments. Fun fact, we do have another stretch goal after this to pay out the casters and to pay out the admins. But until then, it's all to the players. Right now, it's all to the players. All to prize pool, or all to the prize money, I should say. So again, if you want to help support StarCraft and the community and the scene and these tournaments, you can do so via Patreon, as that will be boosting the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna Cup. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And again, we'll see you guys in 1 hour's time for some more StarCraft. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Thanks for watching.